Hello, everybody. Hi, this is Casey. Hope you're doing well. Anthony will be joining us in a minute. He's coming in. So, just want to say hello to everyone. Make sure that you can hear me well. If you have any trouble hearing, seeing, let me know.
Hear you well. Sounds like a song.
And hello, happy thoughts. Jay Mars, happy Saturday to you as well. Hey, Matthew. Let's see who else. And Jeff. Hey, Jeff. And Stian. And Jane Spitfire. Hello, everyone. Okay, so you want to sit here? All right, we're going to let Anthony sit here first. He likes the bigger chair.
It's because I'm a bigger guy.
And I have the little bitty stool.
Oh, it's because you're a little girl.
No.
All right.
Okay.
Woo. Out of breath, guys.
Today
it's cold weather.
Yeah,
I have cold-induced asthma.
It's been snowing here. We don't normally get snow that much in North Carolina, maybe like twice a year. But it has literally been snowing all day.
All night, all day.
Early this morning, it is still snowing.
Started last night about 11.
I took little Joey outside. We did go for a walk today, and he loved it. But I had to bundle up quite a bit. He didn't mind. Here is your
big yeah, the massive glasses because I can't see.
Yeah, so we got something. He's going to go to the doctor soon to get his eyes examined.
Yes, I am. I hate to, though. I tell you.
You can be 4 eyes pretty soon with those glasses.
Well, they do help, but
yeah. Oh, right, Stan. You are on the opposite side of the equator, right? 115 degrees there. Whoo, that is hot.
So, no, it would have to be Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'd love it. I lived in the desert, and it was the best thing ever. So, I love hot weather. Never get too hot.
Hello, Mama Sue.
We went to Vegas and went out in the desert. It was 119. She overheated. I told her to fill my back. I was still cool.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't like too cold. Definitely don't like cold. I don't like extreme hot. I prefer warm over cold. That's my
I prefer hot.
Yeah, he doesn't mean. So if we could live somewhere, his preference would be like Arizona, Nevada. Although Florida, he likes Florida too. You like
Southern Florida, Miami area.
Yes, Southern Alabama. That's okay.
Oh, that's where I'm originally from.
Yeah. I'm from South Carolina, so I definitely we don't do cold there either. So, yeah. And let's see who else.
Okay, why am I having trouble?
Oh, brilliant interview, Casey. I like how you raise your hand when you want to clarify. Yeah. Well, and thank you, Happy Thoughts. You know what it is I just realized if somebody's talking, I thought I better do this to get their attention. And that way I can ask a question without talking over each other, So
cool.
I noticed that on some other videos. I'm like, I need to pay attention to how to do this properly.
Mama Sue.
And I do have a few other interviews I'm working on. I've already got it. I just have to edit. So I'm going to be interviewing some more people. I have and I have one coming up that is interesting one for sure. I don't want to give away too much information. So
yeah, don't, because every time we talk about something on our Saturday stream, if we don't, it gets put out Monday before we do it. But I did finally get around to Johannes Graber, like I mentioned 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, we just don't want to spoil anything. That's all it is.
Thank you so much, Jane. That was very sweet.
Oh, what did she say?
Huh?
What did she say?
Anthony, you are a lucky guy. Casey is such a pretty lady. I agree.
Thank you. That's so sweet. So, you live in Charleston, South Carolina?
Who's that?
Okay. Or you did. I actually, I know all about Charleston.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Who said that?
Jane.
Oh.
Half of my herbs dehydrated to death and the others from overwatering. Oh. Well, he knows all about plants and how to take care of them. You have any suggestions
What was this?
about the herbs that dehydrated and the others from overwatering? Because it's really hot where Stan's at.
Oh yeah, they can dehydrate really bad. If you overwater them, it causes to get root rot. It causes it not to take up nutrition. It causes nutrient lockout. So you just have to moisten them and keep them moist. Try cocoa coir and mix it with soil. And that way it should help. And that way you can lightly moisten it and it'll hold for a little while without oversaturating.
All right.
I grew up farming. I know this is hilarious, but being from the deep South, there was limited amounts of jobs. So you grow up farming, cordwooding, tree surgeon work, coal mines in a little bit north of there, and steel foundries, and growing cannabis. So that was the things everybody did.
Okay. Hi, Jay.
Back in the 70s.
I'm going to say hello to him and hope you're doing well, Jay. So I'm going to just say hello to everybody first before diving in to the subject at hand, although we like to wing it a little bit too. So that way everybody gets a chance to say hello and chat and kind of mingle, as they say.
Evening
hello,
to you too,
Maverick.
my friend.
Hello, Maverick. Oh yeah, because it's evening over there.
Mm-hmm.
So today I was supposed to go to work, but we didn't because of the weather. We wanted to just go ahead and keep the time the same as we always do for the live stream, just because that's what everybody's used to. So, yep. And I was thinking about a couple things I wanted to talk about, and one of them, I know we put on here Q&A, so if anybody has any, hi Dallas.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about her video that came out early in the week, mine that came out midweek as well. Yours was the interview.
Mine was interview with Adam. He was the one from which I had him on here once before.
That was a good
on our
interview.
live stream. He was the one from the other cult, WMSCOG, World Mission Society Church of God. Very similar to Jehovah's Witnesses in a lot of ways. Some differences, of course.
Well, they all sprang from the SDA.
Seventh-day Adventists.
Yeah.
Craziness that so many cults stem from that. Although the Seventh-day Adventists today do not claim to shun anyone, but they did all that numerology stuff, which is where a lot of the cults came up from there.
Yeah.
With that, predicting the end times mess. Was something interesting I thought about with the WMSCOG is they go to church on Saturday for 14 hours. And that is insanity. Like, I'm like, what? That's worse than Jehovah's Witnesses. It's like some things were worse and some things were easier. Like, that was definitely worse. There's no way I could be in church for 14 hours every Saturday. Like, if you miss a Saturday, they thought instant, automatic, send you to hell. And you're like, wow. And the thing that was a little easier, I guess you could say, even though it really wasn't, is with us, we as Jehovah's Witnesses, we have to, if we committed a sin, we have to go before the 3 elders and tell them all the dirty details, and it's very awkward, and these men looking at you, especially as a woman, you're just like,
that's just perverted. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. It's none of any man's business.
As a man, I don't know what it feels like to be in front of other 3 men. Maybe it's still got to be awkward, whatever it is. But with the WMSCOG, they don't do that. They instead they write letters to Mother God, who is a woman, a Korean lady in Korea, and say, I did this and that and the other. And they send letters, of course, the leaders are probably
I thought they had to say it in front of everybody
That's the other thing.
Okay.
So they have to do 2 things. One is they have to write letters of confession of all their sins to Mother. And of course, these people are reading them, and then they have a talk, a
Matriarchal
a sermon about it. Well, there was a man who claimed to be Jesus as
Oh,
well.
okay. So
he's already
patriarchal
passed
stuff.
away.
Gotcha.
Reincarnated Jesus, Korean man who's passed away now. And so, anyways, they still have mother living. She's like 80-something years old. And supposedly she's never supposed to die, right? She's like eternal, like here on earth. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that'll be interesting when she dies. What are they going to say, But anyways, you're supposed to write letters to mother. And then, of course, eventually a sermon comes up about something you did. And you're like, oh, wow. How did she know? And then the other thing they have to do is you're in a room with other people quietly saying out loud your sins. And that's like, yikes. I don't need everybody to know what I just did. You know what I mean? So in a sense, that could be worse, if you think about it. But with the elders, even though you're confessing to the three men and they are like, we don't tell anybody. BS. Yes, you do. You tell the wives, you tell the other elders. And how is it that everybody knows what happened all of a sudden? If they kept their mouth shut, that wouldn't happen. So in the end, everybody in the congregation finds out what you did anyway. So it's all a bunch of gossiping.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy, similar, different, weird. What is it? Oh yeah, that's so room in a room. Repeating sins out loud. Do they do group? I know, right? And well, I asked Adam, well, what are they considered grave sins, right? And he said, well, actually, they say that's up to you. You are the one who makes that decision on what is considered a sin.
Yeah.
And I thought, interesting. So, and he said he's heard some doozies,
That's like back room with speakers.
I know.
Maverick.
Oh my God, what?
Can you imagine standing in front of everybody else confessing your sins?
I know, it's crazy. Well, it's almost like you say them out loud, like you're praying.
That's true, Jay.
Really, but you're saying it all together at the same time. So maybe you try to whisper. I wouldn't be talking too loud. I'd be like, hopefully nobody heard that. Yeah, thumbs up, J Mars. Thank you so much.
That's pretty funny.
When Jack and Jill get reproved on the same night, everyone knows. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. Is like if everybody, and I've seen that happen in my old congregation where they go up and say one after the other who is getting reproved, and you're like, we know what they did.
Subliminal messaging.
We should talk about builds and relatives and friends took part in them. Dallas said that.
Yeah.
Oh, the latest Watchtower study article are goofy. The new Jesus film has subliminal imagery. But I didn't know it. I did a rebuttal to the Jesus film. I didn't notice any subliminal images though. Maybe you could share.
Yeah.
I didn't see any images. Now I know messages, but images I didn't notice. Right. Okay. Like Jim Carrey in the elevator. Oh yeah. Liar, liar. That's right. He was.
Well, Wilmskog and the guy was really good.
Yes, really great.
The
really great
other lady you interviewed a while back, Alyssa, that was a really good interview too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Really
she
good.
Has her own channel, At Home with Alyssa.
Yeah.
She's very, very put together.
All of them are.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Esther, she mentioned last couple of weeks ago or a week ago, she was finally interested. That'll be a good one.
Yes. Hello, Lioness.
Lioness. Hey. Anybody that wants to be interviewed, just reach out to KC. Let us know.
Yeah, in the email.
Yep.
It'd be
Facts on JW
Gmail.
at gmail.com.
So something I was thinking about today was, you know, when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I thought, it was really stressful to be a witness because you always were like, oh, I have to get ready to go to the meeting. I have to prepare for the meeting. I have to go out in field service. I have to prepare for field service. And I have to comment at the meeting. I have to do this. I have to do that. And then I'm sitting here just like, in my life today, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm at home. I'm done working. And yeah, I'm just going to watch TV. And then I'm thinking, I would be having to get ready for the meeting normally. And it's very stressful for me anyways. I don't know if other people, but I just felt very stressed.
How about you guys? Did y'all all feel stressed?
Go to the meeting, get ready, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as you get there, you're just like, so much anxiety, so much tension. Oh, just felt.
Feel that when I went there. I felt that for real.
Here's what I felt. As a witness, I remember thinking this, as a brainwashed witness. I felt like when I was at the meeting, I had my little magazine or whatever, and I felt like I had to be like this when they were reading the paragraph, and then when they weren't reading the paragraph, I had to be like this. And there was no other, like, it's just very robotic.
That's crazy.
And then in Zoom, when we did meetings on Zoom, they were like, don't turn your camera off. And you're just like, so you have to be like this. It just so... It's just like, it's
but
silly.
You were out by the time Zoom come around.
But I noticed that was a problem.
Oh, because
you're just like,
that's right.
And everybody's like,
yeah,
it's just staring at straight ahead, robotic. It's that brainwashing thing. It's so stupid. So, does anybody want to say, how they felt? Stan says, I was stressed every day from work. At the meetings was the only sleep time. Oh,
I'd fall asleep within 10 seconds of it starting.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Give me elbows.
It was stressful to get ready to go there, blah, 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 blah. But then also, once you're there, you might be a little comfortable in your seat. Okay, I'll give you that. But then you're like, got to comment at the meeting. Ha, ha, ho, better get that. And my heart would be racing, of course, because I did not do well commenting. I have stage fright real bad. So, and I didn't like, doing parts or any of that.
Oh, got you, J. Morris.
So I felt bad for the men because they had to do everything. So it's stressful for sure, especially if you have to prepare like for a 45-minute talk.
That actually was a good video there, Maverick. JW Escape. The one with the Jesus film. It was good.
That's right.
It was really good.
Post that recently.
Yeah, I was glad to see her post something again.
Yeah, had been a while.
Yeah.
Okay, Dallas is asking if you was I on your chat when you interviewed Alyssa?
No,
this was actually not a live stream with Alyssa. This was just an interview I did and posted the video.
If you'll go into our videos and go to live, you'll find the video.
Not with
or
Alyssa.
Not live. Go into the videos and look down videos. Yeah.
Okay, let me just clarify.
When was it?
What you do is you go to the playlist and you click on interviews and you will see the interview with Alyssa. He's going to get you all confused.
I'm confused.
Yeah, just listen to what I say. Just kidding. All right. So, yeah, if you want to watch Alyssa's interview, just click on the playlist under interviews and you'll find it there. Oh, you did not join the ministerial school? Interesting. Ministry school. I thought it was too much like acting and not teaching. You know what? We were always pressured to join that. And then I was always on the ministry school. And there was a time where I got really pissed off at a bunch of elders and I decided I didn't want to be on it for a while because they were just mean. And so I went up to the presiding, whatever he was at the time. And I told the elder, now he was a decent guy, the guy I talked to. And I said, look, I don't want to be on the school right now. And they try to talk you out of it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I don't want to be on it. And I told him that I didn't want to be on the school for a while. And I'd let him know when I wanted to be on it. And then like they were like, okay. And so they took me off for a while. And then every so often they'd be asking me to be on it. And I'm just like, God, this is annoying, but I get it. Maybe they just run out of people to go up there and give these parts. But I'm like, well, if you want people to do these things, you have to be nice to them.
Yeah.
You don't just demand. And that's what happened to me is they were demanding that I do this and I'm like, no, you ask nicely.
So good job, sir.
To just treat people decently, none of that would happen.
It's right here.
I was video chatting with friends in Japan yesterday. They asked if Jehovah's Witnesses are happy. No, they were genuinely curious. It was hard not to burst out into laughter when she asked me that question. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not happy. What?
Right there,
which one?
Right there.
Jay?
Yeah.
I don't know how I used to do everything as a JW. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's never enough, no matter what you do.
I feel sorry for the men, actually, because y'all had to do so much. I mean, you had to prepare for and lead the meetings and the watchtower, conduct the watchtower study, conduct the book study, had to prepare 30 to 45 minutes. Back in the day, it was 45-minute talks, and they switched to 30 minutes. And I mean, did you find that difficult? Any of you who did these talks? I mean, did you find that hard to prepare? Did you get enough information? I know they give you an outline, but did you find that challenging? What about just being an elder and having to, sit here and judge somebody in a judicial committee? Was that challenging in itself, and hearing everybody's problems all the time?
Sure, to give you good communication skills, I guess.
Well, the one positive thing is that when you go up on stage, public speaking, and you can get good at that if you're a man more so than the women,
right?
Because the men did that more. But so that's one positive thing about the meetings, was the public speaking that you could get better at with time.
I get so nervous. And
that's something I really actually wanted to be good at, but being a woman, it's limited. And I had so much stage fright. I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to overcome this.
I played music in front of a lot of people, but man, I just never tried to look directly at them. I'd look up, or the lights usually are, keeping you from seeing everything.
Oh, okay. Is that why they wear sunglasses too? So that
sometimes
they don't have to, like, oh, you know what would help me is if I could go up on stage with my stage right and wear sunglasses. I'd feel more comfortable. But you can't do that,
No, you can't.
Hi,
do that
Jenny.
In live performances very often, but
well, you can if you're a rock star.
Not always, just some.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can't go up there in church wear sunglasses.
It was weird. I overcame it when I was young, and then it just came back on me too, though.
So really Maverick got fed up preparing for talks, and Dallas didn't see the need to prepare for any of it. Yes.
I never was a rock star.
Yeah, we live in North Carolina, Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, not from here.
No, not from here.
No.
Just live here.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay did the accounts for 13 years plus talks.
Wow.
RBC and LDC attendant of assemblies. Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah, I know. Like the attendance at the assemblies, you had to get there like really 7 a.m. A lot of times you'd have to be there quite early for them to kind of go over instructions with you. The only thing I did at assemblies in my lifetime, other than clean the bathrooms and cleaning, was I did sometimes do the contribution boxes, and I also, before they ended food, I did help out in that, but you had to get there pretty early for that. So that was all I did. Oh, and first aid too. I remember my dad, he actually was involved in first aid, which I didn't mind that one. Yeah. That was fairly easy.
It teaches you to
Jeff says he was good at giving talks, but it was stressful. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you just have to prepare. You have to prepare for it. Stian says it teaches you to talk to anyone, even bosses, that you seem professional and knowledgeable. My son uses those skills now to run his business and talk to big customers who spend thousands of dollars on IT. Yeah, and so that's the positive in it, is that that you can learn public speaking skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like
So,
you could. It looks like
I
that
mean,
would be
not
the one
everything's going to
thing.
be terrible and awful. Hand me this.
Charger?
Yeah. Not everything's going to be terrible and awful all the time, but we still, it would just say stressful. Stressful is what it was. So, yeah. So I just wanted to mention that, something I was thinking about. And if anyone else wants to share what it was like for them, like, did you find it hard to prepare talks? Did you find it challenging to be an elder and listen to everybody's problems? So if you want to share that in the comments here. Mm-hmm.
Being an elder. Well, there's Matthew. Hey, Matthew.
Hi, Matthew.
What's Matthew say?
They were nervous when I raised my hand. I was nervous. Okay. Try juggling 3 language groups. Oh, yeah, that's right. As overseers. Ooh. Shanna, Chiwa, and English. Wow, you know lots of languages, which amounted to 300 plus people every week. Don't miss it. Was a nightmare. Shanna and Chiwa were easier. The English side not. So, wow, that's, I mean, it's your whole life, you know, all consuming. How do you have time to work?
I'd like the fact of learning multiple languages.
Yeah, that's another positive thing about Jehovah's Witnesses is they did help you try to learn another language. I did. I learned
just
Spanish.
So you could go out and recruit more people for them.
Yeah. But, you know, it doesn't mean you can't get good at the language.
Yeah.
Oh, and
it's not for your benefit.
The you know what we were talking about, like why they did away with food at the assemblies.
Yeah.
So we think that, I remember they made announcements about it, that they said that the reason was because it would take away from people who were back there prepping meals all day. They couldn't come and listen to the convention, which was true. So one of the reasons was you couldn't get brainwashed. You know, you were too busy not listening. And the other, we think it might have been not cost effective for them, even though you did have to pay for the food, but it was fairly cheap. So it might not have been cost effective. So that's what we think. And if anyone else wants to share, please do so. There was always that brother who looked like
Beaker
from the Muppets.
I like that.
They looked like they were giving talks at gunpoint. Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Jenny Parfum, she never bought into the new JW.
Oh yeah. And it's just well, if you're not good at public speaking, you could definitely have that, you know, scared look about you.
Jay says the real reason they quit serving food, they must have been losing money, obviously.
Yeah.
That's his opinion.
I think you're right.
That's what you said too.
I thought that, plus I thought the fact that they weren't able to brainwash you long enough. Because if you're not in there listening to the convention, how are you getting brainwashed? Think about all the people who woke up during pandemic because they were sitting here listening to Zoom, not paying attention. Yeah. So.
I do want to see some Beaker JW skits. That would be cool.
Oh, well, we could do that.
Yeah, it would be cool. It was great.
We could do some little skits ourselves.
Yeah. We'd do the similarity of Beaker. It can't be Beaker.
Yeah.
And then I finally did the Johannes Graber video and put a lot of scriptures in there. A lot of watchtower, not scriptures, a lot of watchtower articles. So people can see that they knew long before 1983 that he was a spiritist. Yep.
Dallas says, anyone ever pay for assembly food with counterfeit money? Oh, right. Because they give you these tickets. You go buy these tickets. And these tickets was how you got your food.
Oh.
I guess that's a good idea. So that might have been what it was. They were losing money because people were probably stealing it. I don't know.
We're dealing with witnesses. Guys, I can't help it. I noticed every time, I want you guys to pay attention to this. Every time they mention a convention, every time they mention an assembly, they'll say, and the attendants talked about how pleased they were with Jehovah's Witnesses, how polite they were, how wonderful they were. when you know as well as I do, nobody said this garbage,
Mhm.
but they do it, and there's a purpose behind it, and it's psychological. Think about that. Every time they do one, they say this. It's either a custodian for the event center, it's a journalist, or it's a authority figure that always says this, and there's reasoning. And I got a description on that in psychology that goes along with the Jehovah's Witnesses in one of my videos, like 4 weeks ago.
Good.
That was helped with her help with some of it.
Yeah, we work together.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the sisters' talks are harder. Your householder can really ruin the flow. Oh my God. I have to say something about that. I remember this one time I had to give a talk or a part with another sister. And I had, got it together and we were going to go over it. And she sits here and starts telling me she didn't want to say this or that. She wanted to critique it or something. And she was making it really difficult because sometimes you can have that happen where you aren't getting along with the person you have to go do the part with. And then also you have to coordinate time and talk to them. And it was challenging. Sometimes I did have that problem with a couple times where I had some difficult ones who were button heads with me. Do we remember your native home state? Was it Texas?
No, his home state's North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he lived in Texas.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On leaving one convention, there was a big row on the car park. The language was
Pennsylvania. Okay.
rife.
International conventions for party time at night.
Okay, it's Pennsylvania, not North
Carolina. I thought he was from North Carolina. He mentioned it a lot that he lived here.
International conventions for party time at night. Oh, okay. I never went to an international convention. I never was spiritual enough, I guess. I never applied though, because I was like, meh, I don't really want to go do that. I remember seeing householders going completely off script in the middle of the number 3 talk. Talk about awkward. Yeah. I know sometimes I've seen some awkward moments of there. You're just like, oh God, I can't see. I can't look. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Happy thoughts. So you saw a big row at the convention in the park where the people were arguing, huh? Ooh. That's
people were arguing.
Definitely don't look Christian, does it? It doesn't look Christian.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, really? Men basically give sister talks now?
What? That's weird.
Did any of you find it, of the men out there who did give talks, did you find it like hard to know what to talk about, or were you given enough information? Yeah. So I'd like to know about that too. Yeah, but the conventions for me were, I mean, there were times that were good and, and stressful, I guess a little bit of both. So, but, how many people think that Jehovah's Witness religion is not what it was? I mean, even 5 years ago.
Yeah,
it has changed so much in the last 5-6 years.
In the past 8 years, let's see, I know of 9. More. In the past 9 years, it's extremely different.
Yeah.
So, what's that say?
Tight pants are compulsory.
Impromptu
They
talk
always
guy.
gave me the craziest subjects for talks. Be sure they knew I could pull it off.
I was
That's
the
a little
go-to
challenging.
impromptu talk guy.
Oh, in the ministry school.
Yeah, Dan Bear. Oh, hey, Dan Bear.
Oh, hi. Make the talk your own or it will suck. Well, it sucked anyways. A loving elder enjoys his work because they are true shepherds.
Oh, yes.
A loving, kind elder, excuse me. Yes. I enjoyed the talks and panels and interviews and dramas. The problem was double binds and dishonesty.
Yeah.
And straight up abuse, lies, cover-ups, and combativeness that went on. Yeah. Well, maybe that's the real problem.
Yeah, the dramas of the convention were good.
Yeah. Or that's the behind-the-scenes problems that becomes an issue, like the gossiping and all of that. And the cover-ups.
Oh, excuse me. I can't quit
Definitely different than it used to be still. Oh, yeah, right. Getting 4 kids dressed and traveling to the assemblies was expensive and exhausting, and I hated it. Oh, yeah. If you have children, that's going to be very challenging. And I feel sorry for the children in it today.
I feel sorry for the people having to do that. That's it's expensive.
But the children are like, if you go to the meetings at all,
there's little enemies of God.
We have been last year, and you look around and you just like, everybody just looks so sad, It's kind of sad. I hate that, especially the children. Ever had a talk and felt inside it wasn't right? Oh, I have done comments where I was like, oh my God. And I mean, literally anxiety over a comment that I felt was wrong, or I just I didn't say it right. It wasn't like incorrect, but it was just like, I felt stupid. And then it was just like, give me so much anxiety. That's why I had trouble commenting. And of course, then they make it like, you're not spiritual enough because you're not commenting enough. And I'm like, I have anxiety. I can't help it. And then I can't turn it off in my head. And then I'm just, rather not do it. Or I guess I just have to read from the paragraph, although they say, put it in your own words. Well, how do you do that? Just jumble up the words, I guess. I don't know.
Well, make the truth your own.
You're right. Make the truth your own by doing what? Cherry picking scriptures? Right.
I was thinking that's the stupidest comment anybody ever said.
That's a whole song on it. Make the truth your own. That's a whole song.
There again, see why it's important to listen to the music. You remember those kingdom melodies.
Blah 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 blah.
I bet you still remember the words.
I can't. I know how it goes. I can't remember all the lyrics. I can go check my book.
No. We don't want to hear those.
Make the truth your own. I can't remember the rest.
You're going to traumatize some of these people with that. Music is very powerful, and people remember that.
I remember the sound.
Music can actually suck some people back into cults. Mm-hmm. I watched a documentary on that.
You can have some people, and this does happen.
That's why I created that whole music channel.
Nostalgia.
To get it out of your
mind.
Some
people have. Any of you experienced that? Like, oh, that was nice,
Everybody does.
Nostalgia, and it's not to say everything was bad all the time. I mean, there may have been some great times. I had some nostalgia myself, but it doesn't mean that you should go back. It just means you remember some good times, maybe. Bible studies told to skip delving deeper section and to live forever on earth. Yep. That was another thing we were going to talk about, was the governing body update number 1 with boring ass Kenneth Cook.
Jeez.
So we'll just briefly go over that. Basically, that's the thing, is the Bible studies are not needing to be as long. Like, usually it would take a whole year to go through that or more. I think
Jeff says, make the truth your own. Now that song is stuck in my head, Anthony. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry,
that's
man.
the only problem with songs, is they can't get it out of your head after a while.
No, I'll be humming that when I mow.
Who said that?
Steve, I'll be humming that when I mow my lawn. Oh, no.
Oh.
Dallas, make the lie your own.
Yeah.
Satan's ways are rooted, are not unknown. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that's how it goes. Okay, thank you. 99% of
Where did
my
I get
time
rooted
at
out of that? Not a no, not a no.
are
No.
not unknown. La 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 la.
Oh no!
La, la.
Every JW is under
Da, da,
some
da.
form of stress and
Da,
trauma.
da, da.
Except the
Da.
hierarchy. You're correct on that, Happy Thoughts. 99% of my time was JW was bad. Oh.
Oh, you've been getting snow too, Dallas. Okay.
In UK, we have a beard only father. Okay, Xmas.
In UK, we have a beard only father Christmas dressed up. Oh, wears a beard in the UK. Like Santa Claus? Just since 2014, when I left, we had JW Broadcasting reporting ministry hours ended for rank and file, disfellowshipping, terminology change, shunning policy adjusted, just a few big ones.
Beverly, are you in North Carolina?
Yes, it's been it's been a lot. I would say since, I mean, yeah, like you say, the no more hours reporting, the disfellowshipping terminology, now they call it removed. Adjusted a little bit, like you said. And then, of course, there's like you can go to higher education is allowed, toasting is allowed, cool. Beards are allowed, and pants are allowed for women, and no ties, and blah blah blah. It's just what else?
Jay says I don't have the brown turd songbook anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a Bible study
and
I attend meetings. Should I stop? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, who said that?
Yes, please stop immediately.
Man, you don't want no part of that.
Interesting that you've come on here on TTV, and thank you for coming on today. So I'm interested to know what made you choose to study with Jehovah's Witnesses, and we can definitely help clarify anything if you have some questions about their teachings. Now they're going to say that it's that they teach the truth, right?
Oof.
About Jehovah God. But in case you didn't know, every high control religious group says they teach the truth. Everyone. So prove it that they're teaching the truth. I can prove to you that they're not teaching the truth.
Yes, all of us here can.
There's certain things that they teach that they say is true, which I can prove is not.
Yes, and welcome to the channel.
Welcome to the channel. For example, they say that Jesus took the throne in heaven in 1914. Well, I can prove that to be incorrect. So if that isn't true, what else isn't true? And it kind of snowballs from there. And they cherry pick scripture, so remember to always read in context. Whatever you're reading, it's not always what they say it means. A lot of times it doesn't. So, curious to know what your interest is in them.
And everything, they try to base a lot on 1914, like Jay just said. And, of course, Maverick this is his expertise. But they'll try to say that 607 was the fall of Jerusalem and the enslavement of the Israeli people into Babylon. It's not true. It was 586. Some people say 587. But that's how they come across 1914, which is a key point in their doctrine.
So your best friend is a Jehovah's Witness and got you into it, and you're scared you're going to lose your friend. Okay. Well, first off, you are not a baptized Jehovah's Witness, so you would not be shunned by
losing your friend.
Quitting Jehovah's Witness. Now, whether or not you lose your friend, I wouldn't say that you would necessarily, but your friend will be disappointed, obviously, because your friend says this is the truth, and you've disappointed them. But you don't want to get yourself wrapped up into something like this, because it is not true, and you can't go around living a lie, But what you could do is maybe get your friend to ask questions for him or herself, right? So, like, maybe you could share with your friend, hey, you say 1914, but that doesn't add up. So if you can do your research to disprove some of their teachings, it might help wake your friend up, realizing that this is not true. So, but you could always just, if you don't want to do all that, you could just fade out and say, I'm sorry, I don't agree with it, and end it.
Yeah. Because a true friend is not going to put conditions on your friendship. And
in the
this
study,
is a
not the
very
friendship.
conditional friendship inside that organization.
You can just say, I don't want to continue the study.
Yeah.
And like I said, they'll be disappointed, but well, you'll see.
That's
how the reaction is, I don't know. Kindly, it's a cult. That's true. Jay says. Mm-hmm. Cult means it just means a high control religious group. Look up this thing called the BITE model. BITE. We all know it.
I want to see that.
Oh yeah, go to jwfacts.com. Wonderful website. Tells you everything you want to know about the religion with facts, not lies.
Yeah.
The BITE model is behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. So if they are controlling any of this, then this is what's classified under cult or high control religious group. So like, for example, behavior control is controlled through shunning in their case. Information control, they say independent thinking is not allowed, which is crazy because you have free will and you should be allowed to have independent thinking. Thought control would be that basically they just make you feel guilty about, I don't know if I should celebrate my birthday. Oh man, making you feel guilty about things you shouldn't. And then the emotion with the guilt, really. So you just look up the BITE model, BITE, and you'll see, and then you can compare.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witness behavior with that.
That's not it.
What are you looking for?
Stan said, Fruity asked difficult questions. How long are the creative days? Does God really live in the paradise? In constellation. Oh, in the Pleiades constellation.
Okay.
Maverick. Coming to the end of Enjoying Your Life Forever book. Oh my, you've already went through a lot.
Really? Well, unfortunately, you know what they used to say about that.
You just invited your friend to your birthday party.
You can't. They don't do birthdays.
I know. That was the point Beverly was making.
Mm-hmm.
Who's also from North Carolina?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where does it say he was inviting him to the birthday?
I think she was making a joke.
Oh. Oh, okay. I see. Just invite your friend to your birthday party. Okay. Yeah.
Behavior control, information control, and thought control, emotional control.
Right.
Man, that hits it all, and you're right.
And also the fog, fear, obligation, guilt.
Yeah.
You feel fear, you feel obligation, you feel guilt. This is a good one. Stan says that's why 1975 was the year because of the 1,000 year days in creation. Yeah. The millennium reign is still a part of God's rest day. It's so this is where they thought 1975 would be the 7,000 year of creation, and that on the seventh day God rested, and that it came to the year 1975. Yeah. They used to say things like "Stay alive till 75." Right. They were predicting the end, and the Bible says not to do that.
Really hit it home too.
The Bible says not to do that. It says in Deuteronomy 18:22, Jeff says that the false prophet, if it doesn't come true, it's a lie and it wasn't from God. So if they've been lying all along about 1914 and 1975 and all this, why would they be telling the truth now?
And Maverick, what he just says, pretty good.
Oh yeah, baptism is trapism. Yeah. You get trapped, exactly. It kind of reminds me. Hi, Essie. It kind of reminds me of being in a gang.
Yep.
Like getting baptized into a cult or high control religious group is similar to being part of a gang. Once you're in, you can't leave, not without consequences. The shunning, for example, in their case. I joined 16 years old, and if I had the internet now, I would have really seen everything before committing to the group. Please take your time. Yeah. Yeah, and we're not here to talk badly of the people. We're just here to tell you
Right. The
that
leadership of the
the
organization and their doctrine.
Mhm.
The doctrine's
That's the
severely
problem.
flawed.
Yes.
Doesn't mean people are bad.
No.
Some of those people have very good intentions
Yeah.
and are very good people. They're just misled. They do have an unusual amount, unfortunately, of abuse, CSA problems, and other abuse. Very
Yeah, they do have a lot of CSA
misogynistic
issues.
as well.
Yeah, very much so. A lot of alcohol problems too. A lot of immorality. A lot of unaliving themselves happens.
Oh,
a lot.
yeah, they have a high number of that.
So
too.
it's not a good environment. A lot of anxiety.
Very stressful.
Yeah. Getting baptized is like getting jumped into a game. Yeah, exactly. That's what I say. So.
Who's that? Yeah, that one below.
They can shun you, but they don't own you. That's true, Beverly. If someone gets baptized and tries to leave, most likely you will lose your friend by shunning. Yeah. So it's a trap. If you get baptized, it's a trap. I mean, if you decide to change your mind one day and say, you know what, I don't think this is true. I don't think this is right for me. Shunning is what will happen. You have to be brainwashed. They don't want you in there unless they can control your mind. And they call you an apostate, which is like a heretic but I'm like, even if you're like asking questions, I've seen this happen, asking sincere questions, why this doesn't make any sense, why this and this. And if they can't give you an answer, then you're the problem. It's gaslighting, and then you will be the one who gets shunned.
However, if you look up the term apostate in the dictionary, it says a person has changed their religious or political affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
so it's just changing your beliefs. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but they deem it as, they call apostates mentally diseased people.
It all started with the Catholics. Started that too. They copy a lot of other people,
even though they hate Catholics.
Oh yeah, they despise them. They think everybody's a Catholic. It's like, okay,
they don't understand. They're not even allowed to go inside to visit other churches. I don't know if you know that or not, but you can't go and visit any other denomination. You can't have a blood transfusion to save your life.
Can't go to a funeral if it's in a church.
Well, there's a gray area on that.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. They prefer you not to. Preferred. Not absolute, but preferred. Ask them to show you the scripture in any other Bible apart from their Bible. They have their own version of the Bible, which is also fishy, where it says that Jehovah's Witnesses are substitutes for Jesus. I was involved with Jehovah's Witnesses for over 60 years. Jehovah's Witnesses are that's the one where it's in 2 Corinthians. Substitutes for Jesus. Yes. I was just seeing that actually. Somebody had commented in that one.
That was on the new video.
2 Corinthians 5 verse 20.
Yeah, that's
so in a regular Bible, thank you, Happy Thoughts, for sharing that. It says in your regular Bible, okay, like whatever, any other version, any other translation. I think this is the New English. It says, therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us. We implore you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God. Their version says, let me get to it. 2 Corinthians, let's see, where is it? 5:20 says, therefore we are ambassadors substituting for Christ, as though God were making an appeal through us as substitutes for Christ. So you're not substitutes for Christ. You know,
I didn't know that they did that. I remember seeing that today on one of the comments, but I just
but there's lots of problems with their own version of the Bible too, where they insert
John
Jehovah. They insert Jehovah when it's speaking about Jesus a lot of times, so that's another problem.
Matthew 27, 52 and 53.
What's that one? Is that
that's the one where it says when
Jesus
was resurrected, the earth shook, the graves were split, the rocks broke open, the graves were split, and the dead stood upright. But the Bible, in the oldest translation, which is Papyrus 66, says they got up and went to town.
Mm-hmm. So that's another one. Matthew, what? We'll give that to our person.
Oh no, Papyrus 66 is John 1:1. I'm sorry. The other one is Papyrus
27.
74.
Okay, in the JW Bible about the after Jesus was died and was the earthquake.
Yeah.
Their Bible, New World says, and the tombs were opened, and many bodies of the holy ones who had fallen asleep were raised up. And people coming from among the tombs after his being raised up entered into the holy city, and they became visible to many people.
Yeah.
So,
and that was actually quoted from a spiritist,
Matthew.
And they admitted that they quoted it in 1961. They printed their Bible, the New World Translation, interpretation from Greek scriptures, and they footnote at the bottom that they got it from Johannes Graber. Also, John 1:1, they footnote him as well.
Okay, and then the New English Version says the tombs also were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised, and coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. Okay, so you see the difference. So there's a lots of problems with that.
Well, Graber was doing seances,
New World
communicating with the dead.
Yeah. Let's see. Everett says, I was reinstated in 2021 after 12 years of fellowship. I truly believe that the reason God chose me was because I was raised in the truth. Yeah. But that's what they told you to believe. 587, exactly, Beverly. That's when the fall of Jerusalem actually happened by the Babylonians, not 607, another issue with Jehovah's Witness teaching.
Oh, obviously, hear what Matthew says. He's talking about Dr. Steve Hansen, the bite model. Just look up bite model. That'll
and Stephen Hassan's book, he talks about mandated shunning problems with not just Jehovah's Witnesses, just
I did say Stephen Hassan, didn't I?
Anybody.
Oh, I meant to.
Yeah. Okay, so Fruity says, I would say I have noticed a lot of videos online regarding CSA, and one of the main things I noticed was the girls don't have any privileges. Yeah, well, they have a huge CSA problem. I mean, huge. Look up Australian Royal Commission, 2015, where governing body member Jeffrey Jackson says they are not inspired. So, and they say they are. And that was all over the CSA issues. And also, women are second-class citizens. They do not believe women should have money say so in things, especially in the marriage. Okay. 2 Corinthians 15. Is that the one I quoted? Was that the one?
Yeah, that was one.
15, or is that the? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Happy thoughts.
Yep.
Jeff says, I went to church weddings with my JW in-laws. Oh, we were discreet about it. Didn't mention it to others. Yeah. You got to be careful. Yeah, the governing body is substitute for Christ. Exactly. See, they put themselves as co-rulers with Christ. The 144,000 anointed ones, co-rulers. But they are not co-rulers. Christ is above everyone. I don't know why they think that they're so privileged. If you want to be a Christian, I'm not preaching at you. Meditate on John 5:24. You don't need to belong to an organization to have a relationship with God. That's true. And the Watchtower says you do. Yeah. They say that you can't understand the Bible without their magazines.
Yeah. I remember I asked her a question one time.
Yeah.
About what does she think was more important, the Watchtower or the Bible? And she had to think about it.
And I said both the same.
Yeah, she said
that was my
equal.
answer.
Yep.
Which is scary.
Yeah, that's back when she really was.
Oh, okay. Maverick sent a link. Paragraph 2. Let me see where's. Oh, okay. I'll have to go and find it on my phone here. Let's see. Maverick sent a link. How do I get there? Okay. Who really is the faithful and discreet slave? Okay. That was his link, paragraph 2, which says, about the faithful slave, which is the governing body. So this for Fruity. The timely spiritual food we receive is proof that Jesus is keeping his promise to feed us. Through whom is he doing so? When giving the sign of his presence, Jesus said that he would use the faithful and discreet slave to give food at the proper time to his domestics. And the faithful slave is the channel through which Jesus is feeding his true followers. It is vital that we recognize the faithful slave. Our spiritual health and our relationship with God depend on this channel. That is blasphemous words, in my opinion. So please be careful. Norway is coming on February 5th. The end is near.
And how many cherry-picked verses you can find. They'll take one verse, doctor it. They'll use it way out of context and apply it to their doctrine, which has nothing to do with what the verse was originally about. Be careful of that.
Oh, okay. Fruity says one thing you asked your friend is that your friend says you must be involved in the preaching work, but I wondered if the governing body actually go house to house as well. Very unlikely. But at the same time, their version of preaching is not the way you have to do it. That isn't true. In fact, I remember there was somebody who mentioned this on a video. I think it might have been JW Roast channel that talked about the preaching and the door-to-door thing. That's, you don't have to do it that way. Do you know the proper way to preach to people? Because see, they're using the go therefore and make disciples of people all the nations, right? To say that you must do this as a commandment. So Fruity's friend is saying you have to do that to be right with Jehovah. So what would your
You do have to preach to people according to the Bible.
But not knocking on doors the way they do it.
Exactly.
There's a right and a wrong
Jesus didn't do that. The disciples didn't do that.
There are people
they went and gathered people into, like, hey, you want to hear what we got to say, and gather around, and we'll talk and we'll preach, we'll pray for you, and we'll spread this word. But we're not knocking on every door. But
there's different ways to do it. I mean, like, there are street preachers that go out, that in the Christian, not Jehovah's Witnesses, but the Christian community.
That's a little shady too. But
I know you have to be careful with those things. I mean, there's a right and a wrong way about it, but you don't. It's like you can just talk to people, and it could be a simple message about like Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, in love. I mean, honestly, just give. Jesus himself said, I was hungry and you didn't feed me. I was thirsty and you didn't give me anything to drink. And I was naked and you didn't clothe me, and blah, 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 blah. So this is how you actually preach to people, is through your actions.
Right.
You don't have to be like, hey, you got to take this magazine. You got to believe, blah, blah, blah. It could be simple. Just love.
I can't find it.
But, they always act like it's got to be this way and there's no other way,
Sorry, guys. I got off in La La
Land. What are you doing?
I was looking for something, but oh well.
Thank you for reading that, because that was my very last meeting and Watchtower study. I walked out of the Kingdom Hall and never looked back. Oh.
Who said that?
Well, I am so glad, Maverick, that you noticed that. And you were smarter than me, because, see, I was just over here, still believing whatever. It took me longer to really come to terms with the lies.
What did you read? I'm sorry, I missed.
Watchtower that Maverick had posted about that you have to have the faithful slave as the channel.
What
are you looking up?
I was looking up some of the, I couldn't find the verses that they have just totally destroyed. Yeah.
Oh, I know some. I can share you with you right now. We don't have to go into a Bible discussion.
But then I was wondering, is it,
Yeah.
The point is, just do your research. Please do research.
The JW Bible says, do not transfer from house to house. Other Bibles say, don't go door to door.
I lost a lot of where that scripture is located.
Okay.
Yeah. You kind of put that out of your mind when you're not applying them anymore, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. Well, see, this is what cults all do. Well, who's the only ones doing blah, blah, blah? Who's the only one? See, Jehovah's Witnesses are saying, who's the only ones going door to door and preaching? They're not the only ones. There's the Mormons. They do the door to door. And so does Whimscog. They actually would go door to door as well. But then you have other methods of preaching, like I said. And then Whimscog would say things like, who's the only ones actually doing the Sabbath correctly? Huh? So every high control religious group will say, well, we're the only ones doing XYZ. We're the only ones. That doesn't mean you doing it right just because you're the only ones doing it that way.
Does the governing body go door to door?
No.
Nobody's ever saw a picture of it.
Most likely not, but we don't know for sure.
Yep.
Maybe before they became governing body members,
they
did.
Of course, yeah.
They were, because like David Splain, he was like a regular pioneer and all that. And then once they get to the top, they're just like, all right, let's take our shoes off.
Now we can see all this literature that was not available to us before is all BS.
Yeah. Is anyone from Pennsylvania? Dallas is asking. I'd rather sell vacuum cleaners or life insurance door to door. I know.
No doubt.
Nerve-wracking to go door to door. I just talked to JW relatives, and they have 3 congregations going to one hall. They have her meetings on Sunday talks, Saturday morning now. I wonder how many people are meeting at the congregations. Around here, it wasn't that many. All these
years.
That's
true too, Maverick. I agree. Go ahead.
You want to read it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. All these years, it was door to door that made Jehovah's Witnesses be the one, I know, doing it properly. It's not how, it's what you preach. Exactly. Yep. What are you preaching? It's a problem. John 3:36 says that who believes in Jesus has everlasting life. One doesn't need a man-made religion or man-made channel. Exactly. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life.
Romans chapter 10, verse 9 says the only thing you got to do is believe.
It's not the faithful and
confess
slave.
with thy
it's
mouth,
not the governing body.
Heart.
It's not the 144,000. It's just Jesus.
And not confess to man, confess to God.
Right. And we're not over here. We're not over here preaching or anything. We're just trying to tell people the Fruity to just show the difference between Jehovah's Witness version of Christianity is all. So it's somewhat questionable to attempt
and stay far away from their Bible, by the way.
Yeah, it's
definitely slanted.
Yeah, well, with Johannes Graber backing it up, the spirit medium, it's somewhat questionable to attempt to make sense of a publication that was written thousands of years ago in another language. Yes, that's true. Yes.
Guys, I meant to say, I finally broke a hardcore witness in a debate.
Yes. And he was back and forth with these comments.
I just kept him on track because they'll try to deflect, get argumentative, try to be insulting, and then you bring them back to it. Hey, stop that. Let's talk about this. And they don't know how to handle it. They freak out. And he started deleting his comments. It was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you might have helped, made him question.
Yeah, I don't think it woke him up because he's a hardcore nut, but it made him question, I guarantee.
You hope, yeah.
Because he finally admitted, so what about Johannes Graber?
Ignore it.
I was like, yes, he was a spirit medium. Okay, and?
Yeah, okay, that doesn't bother you?
And then he just started deleting his questions.
So Jenny says, why is it that
Jehovah's
Witnesses don't say peace when entering the house? Because that's what Luke says to do. Peace to the son. That's a good point. People should say that, Probably just don't think about it.
Coco, you make me nervous. She's a good dog,
but she will. I believe in the son of God, Hercules. That's what Stan says.
Hercules.
I used to. Oh, that's funny. Son of Zeus.
Yeah,
half man,
Hercules.
half God, like Jesus.
Well, it could be Achilles too. He was the son of Zeus as well.
Who's this?
But he had a bad heel. No.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was a Nephilim. Hercules. He's this half angel, half human.
Yeah.
That's where the stories come from, most likely.
Well, I don't know. Oh my Lord, what's the comedian's name I like so much? How can I forget the name? Anyway, he says, I tell you what, I prayed to God. I was an altar boy. I done everything great. I went to church every day. Now I am a Christian, granted, but I was just making a point. Mm-hmm. And he says, I prayed. He said, prayed for things. He's like, yeah, did it come true? Some. Was it chance? Probably. Did it not come true ever? Yes. When I was hardcore trying to believe. He says, then I started praying to Joe Pesci. And you know what? The exact same thing happened. So then I prayed to the sun. Same thing happened. So just to let you know, it's all about faith. If you really believe, then you can push yourself into following God and following Christ in a proper way. Just because a prayer is not answered doesn't mean that, it's that there's no God or there is no Christianity. It just means that the prayer's not answered. You don't have the same amount if you're in a cult or not a cult. That's the point I was going to. If you're in a cult or not in a cult, prayers are answered the same. So it's by chance. I strictly believe that.
Okay. Yeah, but the governing body says they're spirit directed. Notice they never say the Holy Spirit directed. That's true. When you get baptized, that's what they say. The spirit that directs them is the wicked spirit forces in heavenly places.
George Carlin, thank you.
But they say whenever you get baptized, they just say this. They used to say God's spirit directed organization. Now they don't even say that. They say, in accordance with.
Jane, you're absolutely correct.
I have to see. They keep changing it. Maybe somebody can tell me. The baptismal questions. JW baptismal questions today.
Jay, me too. It is Witterell.
Yeah, because I keep changing it. Yeah, I'm looking them up. Let's see. Taking too long. I gotta find this.
Rutherford spirit direction was mostly 80 proof. Yeah.
Let me just JW Facts. They have the answers. I gotta look this up. Now, while I'm doing this, you keep the interaction.
Oh, okay. That's anyway, I don't know how I got sidetracked. We was talking a while ago. I was thinking of too many things at once.
Well, you stop it now. You pay attention.
I know. Well, you just been going on and on.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it's all about faith. You have to have faith in what you believe. And if you do, then that's what'll persevere. It's not the fact of prayers being answered or this or that. It's about the faith. Yeah, and Jehovah's Witnesses don't have a true faith. I mean, they think people cease to exist. And you asked any witness, they'll tell you they don't even know if they're going to make it to paradise.
Okay, jwfacts.com. You go to the website and then just search like baptismal questions. Here's the current questions. Have you repented of your sins, dedicated yourself to Jehovah, and accepted his way of salvation through Jesus Christ? I'll give them that. Number 2. Here's the problem. Do you understand that your baptism identifies you as one of Jehovah's Witnesses in association with Jehovah's organization? Where is the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in this? Huh? Not even Holy Spirit. They got rid of that one. They used to say God's Spirit-directed organization. Now it's just in association. So you are getting baptized into an organization. You're not getting baptized as a Christian as in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It's an invalid baptism. So that should also be a clue.
Well.
Okay, so I wonder if, yeah, Lioness, that's a good question. Have any governing body members ever been divorced? Does anybody know? Do you know if any?
I do not know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure they keep it hush hush if they were. Have any of them ever been disfellowshipped in their life? You know, like have they ever, okay, let's just say this, probably not disfellowshipped, obviously, but have they ever committed a grave sin? Huh?
Reproved.
I mean, how many of them probably have committed adultery, right? How many of them might, you know, who knows? Who knows? But whatever it is, they get away with it.
Yeah. That's the fact, Jack.
And let's see. Oh, okay. So you sent YouTube. Oh, okay. He's sending his music channel, Frequencies of Freedom, if you want to listen to some music that won't get in your head in a bad way.
Right. That you're not going to be singing Kingdom melodies.
Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know about their.
If you like rock, pop, R&B, soul.
Okay, understand
synthwave
means to stand under the contractual agreements to the corporation. God's organization, and you can't legally do that until you're 18. Yeah, see, there's been plenty of people who've tried to get out of by, you know, suing Watchtower over their baptism and saying it wasn't valid. But but you know, so that they could stop getting shunned, but it's just not been successful. And we know Norway and some countries in Europe have tried to get rid of their shunning policies and said, well, we're not going to back you up financially and stuff, but they still won't comply. They're so annoying, very stubborn.
Yeah.
Do you know your dedication and baptism identify you as one of Satan's witnesses in association with Satan's organization? It's so true. So that's so Fruity. Hopefully this makes sense to you. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us, email us, faxonjw@gmail.com if you'd like. And everyone here is here to support you and help you.
That's a fact. And put our link down here so we can get some guests on real quick.
Oh, okay. So if anyone wants to come on the screen, and you're welcome to, I'll just go ahead and put that in the comments here. So if you want to join in, you can up on the stage. I believe and hope things will go well in Norway. I think so. I'm sure they will. I just don't know because see.
That's Watchtower the 5th, 6th, and 9th coming up.
Yeah,
February 5th, 6th, and 9th.
We're gonna have to keep up with that. Watchtower is very stubborn, though, very, very stubborn, and I'm just not really sure what the reaction will be. If they could just say, "Okay, we'll stop with the shunning policy," I mean, why can't they just do that?
Can they click on that and actually get it? I thought it usually stayed down here so they could click on it.
Yeah, they just go and it's in the chat, and they can click on it right here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Now I can put it, let's see. That's the easiest way right now.
Okay, yeah, just do it that way.
Okay. I used to imitate Bob Dylan singing Eyes on the Prize.
Oh my.
I got a lot of requests for that one. Oh, wow.
Bob Dylan.
JW baptized
great
little
book,
kids.
great music writer.
JW baptized little kids now, and the freedom to fade from JW is taken away with the First Amendment, U.S. rights, which is to worship, freedom of religion. They don't give people freedom of religion, but they expect to receive it. Okay, Fruity says, appreciate the help. Okay, well, you're welcome. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. We're here to help. So, and of course, your friends are gonna be like, say, well, we're just awful, you know. We're Satan and all that. Somebody? Okay. Hello, Apostababe.
Oh, Apostababe.
Hello. Good to be here.
Yay.
You know what? I watched a video that Matthew did talking about the court case coming up in Norway. And he's really specific on what it's going to be about. So if you guys get a chance to look at his latest video,
Okay.
and today's the 31st of January, 2026. So if somebody rolls across this later, they'll get the latest video of this date. So he gets down to what it's truly about. So that's
cool.
exciting. And I think it starts on the 4th of February. Excuse me? What?
What's the name of his channel?
The name of his channel is his full name. So Matthew Mellis. I don't even know how to say his middle name, Gray.
Let's see here.
Matthew, send us over your link.
Okay, I can look it up here.
I didn't know Matthew. Oh, yeah, I knew he had one a long time ago.
Matthew. Okay, here we go. Middle name is Gray. Okay, let me look it up here. Okay, I see here.
Yeah, let's subscribe.
Okay.
Usually before a court date comes up that we're going to watch, we have all these high hopes of what we're hoping it's going to accomplish, and then we'll get let down because we don't quite, we're not quite tapped into what this round is about, you know? And everything we're wanting to have happen is very legitimate, but it might not be the purpose of that particular court hearing, you know?
Right.
And a lot of people were, I can remember the Australian Royal Commission. And you know what, you guys? That's like 10 years ago, right? 2015. Yeah. Here we are in 2026. So that's, you know, that was, I'm sorry, 10 years ago. Yeah. So, and it's still fresh in our minds. But I can remember people being discouraged because there was no like end kind of consequence, because it was only an inquiry, which within that inquiry, we got to find out all this information, which was really cool, especially listening to Geoffrey Jackson speak about how the governing body is put together.
Yes.
And he basically said, we vote each other in, whereas we as witnesses, you know, how's he going to get in front of Geoffrey Jackson and be like, oh, it's the Holy Spirit? They vote each other in. They can't say it's like God places them there.
And we just him, and there he is, Matthew.
Yep.
That's so true.
Hand me there's a Revelations book I saw the other day I was not aware of. They mention in there that they're not inspired or fallible in there. And that book's old. Did you guys know that?
Yeah. It was quite shocking when I heard it.
Yeah.
So how do you not be inspired, but yet the governing body was put together by the inspiration of Holy Spirit? Or maybe we're just assuming middle, or, you know, we're filling in blanks.
Yep. You guys have to excuse me today. I feel so out of it.
So what was that channel that was brought up with all those videos, the music videos? Whose channel is that?
Oh, it's called Frequencies of Freedom.
That's his. Yeah.
That's your channel. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a music
right
channel.
on.
It's kind of
And
like,
by the way, I've been very impressed with you. Your man has like done his homework. I've been very impressed, going, wow, okay.
Yeah,
he met this beautiful woman and he got to business doing homework.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, he's really good at researching, for sure. He helped me wake up. So.
Well,
and an elder.
It was kind of amazing. You know, when I first met her and we got together, she told me that I would have to become a witness, right?
That's the deal, dude. That's the deal. That's the only way you get to date.
Yeah. It was like, what the heck? I'll do it. I didn't know nothing about them. I thought there was just sweet people that knocked on doors.
And they are. They are. Yeah.
I'll become a witness. And then I started studying with them. And I was like, wait a minute. Every time you ask me a question, you want me to answer out of this book. And when I try to answer with my own opinion, you tell me that's unacceptable.
Yes, you can imagine what it's like growing up in there.
Oh, geez, I got thinking about it, actually. And that was my very first clue something was wrong. Because living in California, I had studied with other groups, other cults, because they were on every corner out there, Los Angeles area. And,
you grew up in Los Angeles area?
No, I'm originally from Alabama, but I moved there when I was quite young.
Okay.
I moved to Northridge, and then I moved over to Corona, and then I moved over to Fountain Valley.
Oh, wow. Fountain Valley is the next city over from me, where I'm
Oh,
at now. I grew up in Los Angeles County, and I remember the Northridge earthquake. Okay.
oh,
That was, I don't even want to say how long ago that was. Hey, Dallas is in the house.
you know
Yeah,
what's
Dallas.
funny? It seems
Yeah.
like when I
Howdy,
think of
Dallas.
out there, it seems like
Wow.
1982 or 83 was yesterday. You know,
Yes.
I'm just like, I'm
Mhm.
so old. Anyway, I think it's on page 15. I can't quite find it yet.
What's this?
They claim to be uninspired and infallible.
I'll see if I can get ChatGPT to help me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'll look that up in the meantime.
It's in the Revelations book. And I was just going through it and I was like, I think I remembered page 15 for another reason. Wait a minute. But this book is loaded with, no wonder they don't want people to read it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was studying about Graeber, there's a couple of, oh yeah, Johannes Graeber. There's a couple of things they don't give him credit for, but they use some of his writings in it. And I was like, oh, it's from Graeber, but they don't say it no more. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they use him as a reference for John 1:1. The
Yeah.
New World Translation interprets the word as being a God rather
Yep.
than God. So the see, and they used to have the international, not international, interlinear, which is the Greek interlinear. So, anyways, I was when I was doing my transferring from JW theology, I was going into Christian theology, so I was very into the apologetics. So I was learning about Grieber, but it was through the late great Dr. Walter Martin, who was the founder of the Bible Answer Man of the back in the day, and he wrote a book called Kingdom of the Cult. So apologetics means you're standing up for your faith. So he was standing up for the faith of, mainstream Christianity.
Yep.
And some crazy lady that I heard about that God talked to, which scared the hell out of me, right? She
Right.
gave me gave me a stack of cassettes, maybe 4 or 5, and walked away, thankfully, because again, she scared the hell out of me because I heard God talk to her. I find out later she's that kind of Pentecostal. Okay.
Oh, okay.
My mom,
They do like to do that.
I didn't grow up with my mother. My dad had custody of me, but I got to know her later in life. And my mother was Pentecostal holiness.
Your hand is.
And so I decided to go to church with her. Don't put it back up. I want to go through it. And I decided to go to church with her. And yeah, it was a culture. It was a shock. I'd never saw people fall in floor and talk in tongues and run up and down aisles. I was like, this is interesting. Let me get out of here, please.
Yeah, it's a different groove for sure.
Yeah.
So those tapes, I literally took 3 years. 3 years going through them. And I started off with, I'm going to prove this guy wrong, because that mindset of a Jehovah's Witness. It's like we know where we have accurate knowledge. And after 3 years, I'm like, wow, this guy's right. I looked up each and every point he made.
Guys, we have Matthew on here. Matthew, tell us about your channel. I didn't even know, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. Yeah, just my channel working things out,
Oh, hi.
Well,
Pep.
nice to know you have one. I always want to promote other people's channels.
Hi, Pep.
I was in a state where I was a real mess and I couldn't talk because of the trauma and the stress. There was a underlying health condition.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, since, it's like near-death experience, I thought what I'll do is I can still type something out and still use a computer, and that's what I did. So I used AI to get messages out in the form of music.
Nice.
And I thought if I bite the dust, well, then family that's growing up, little kids that are growing up, and they want to know about their uncle or whatever. That's what I'll leave behind. But then, of course, survived, and then just did some interviews and did some, it just sort of progressed organically. That's all.
Okay. Well, we just subscribed. We found it. Thanks to Pasta Babe. She told us about it. Thank you.
Well, thank you all. That's very kind.
So, watch it.
Yeah, it's just working things out. That's all.
Is Pep still there?
No, Pep was just in the comments.
Oh, okay.
I wish it was as fun as your channel, Casey and Anthony and
Oh, please.
Linda James. I think you guys do it in a very classy way.
Well, thank you. Today I'm a little out of sorts, though. So.
We're always learning. We're always.
I feel like my sugar is just
out. Oh.
Yeah.
Do you eat something?
No, just eating garbage lately.
You eat better, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm trying to diet, and I've just failed miserably with this snowstorm.
It's hard.
But Apostolate brought up some really good points, though. She was talking about how we all anticipate the like the Australian Royal Commission or the Norway thing that's going on, or what is it, Sweden. We all have high expectations of what happens, but sometimes it don't happen exactly the way we want it. And that you had an opinion on that, which is interesting to hear, Matthew.
The double bind, the catch-22 situation.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about Norway is what I can safely say this community, and anybody can just correct me where I'm overstating. For all the injustices that we've ever faced or that we've ever seen and gone, well, you just can't penetrate this because you're caught in this loop situation. Well, what happened is now they caught the government in that situation, because if the government pays out the subsidy, what are they enabling ethically? And as soon as they pay out, then there's watchdogs for governments, like United Nations, for instance. If you want to be part of United Nations, there's certain things that are put in place to say, look, a country's got to stay in line, or a European Union, for instance. There's certain things that you've got to meet as a criteria to stay in line. So if you're paying out money as a subsidy, what are you enabling? But the catch-22 situation, if they don't pay money out, then they have those same, you could say, regulation boards or regulation committees, or that pressure that's coming in on them as a government to meet that criteria. Then they say, oh, but then you're discriminating against the religion. So they've got to choose which is the what can we say? What's going to keep the status quo, for instance? Is it going to be holding back the subsidy and saying, well, you just carry on as a religion. We're not persecuting you here. It's our right to hold this money back because we're very concerned about the policies that are in place that deflect against liabilities. That's what we've targeted. That's the issue, not doctrine. It's just this matter of vulnerable persons, specifically children. And we also want to try and get out of this loop situation where if we do that we're not accused of discrimination. So that's what the Supreme Court is dealing with. It's not a criminal trial. It's just trying to deal with unblocking this catch-22 situation. If there is an abuse case, let's say, for instance, Norway government totally loses, right? Because it's only a small chance. If we look at historically, it's only a small chance that they have. Why are they doing this? The only reason why they're doing this is because of the ethic. Right. So say, for instance, now they lose it, and persons that are seeking justice go, oh, we had all our hopes on this. We had all our hopes on this, having this domino effect and this ricochet. it actually doesn't affect criminal cases, because if you still got an abuse case, you push it through.
Right.
This might set a precedent and it might make it more difficult, but if there's a hard, ironclad abuse case, you still push that thing through. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult, but you sort of hope that even if a case like this that's so high profile, it's going to a Supreme Court, even if they make a complete mess of it, it doesn't mean that it's over. So I don't know if that provides persons with some sort of glimmer of hope. It's hard as hell. That's the fact.
Now, yeah, I understand what you're saying about that, because it looks like they don't have a great chance of winning, but there is a chance they could, is what you're saying. So,
yeah, and it's because of the ethic that they pursue the small probability, because ethics drives it.
This falls under the category of ethics rather than theology or practices of the organization. Ethics.
Yeah,
so ethics from a secular standpoint of Norway.
Yeah, human rights, Linda James. So look, for those that want to go into something like it's not even natural law. I was going to say natural law, but it's not even that. It's just human rights ethics, because if you've got a vulnerable person, like they talk about the 8-year-old, the 8-year-old baptized person, even with the adjustments to like an SLF book, which is the Elder's Handbook or the Branch Manual or Circuit Overseer Guidelines or Correspondence Guidelines, which is used at the service desk level, which is your branch level for the religion. If you've got a bad player, they don't play by the rules. This is the interesting irony. We might have access to all these books and all these manuals, right? And we go, but this is how it should work, and this is the flow chart and the procedures and the latest elders book, and this is the update. If you've got a bad player or a bad actor or somebody that's trying to shield themselves from something that they've done which is illegal, or even something that they have broken theocratically by doctrinal standards, they don't play by the rules. Why would a criminal do that? So it's all about putting in the correct checks and balances. And they're saying, the way this thing is weighted, it's not like we are not aware that there is a drug trade, for instance, or I've got to be very careful with your channel, just profane things that go on in society and that make up a huge percentage of the economy, because that's what humans are. Humans have got both sacred and profane about them. So Supreme Courts recognize that, we live with gangsters, we live with criminals, we live with this, and it even goes into government, and you've got, troops going into poppy fields, for instance, to secure that for medicines. I'm trying to dodge the words that are trigger words here, so please bear with me. What I'm trying to say is they're trying to balance or keep the status quo for our human nature, our dark side and our light side, and just saying, look, we recognize that there are these bad things that go on. How do we just put in enough of a safety net that we don't completely collapse as a society? That's what it is.
Okay. And there's also,
go ahead.
There's also something that was brought up, that they had changed or added on some rules shortly before the organization no longer qualified for funding. So you've heard they were funded 30 years, right? And then all of a sudden they're not funded. And of course the organization is talking about, like, how could they do that to us? This must be persecution. Well, Norway had, I don't even know what to call it, added more rules. I don't know if that's called, I don't know what that's called. So according to what's been added on, that's what's going against what the organization is showing. So and again, children have rights in Norway. The United States within the United States, there is no human rights for children. There
Correct.
is over there. So when the Watchtower is doing what they're doing, and they're based in New York, they know this.
Yeah.
Anybody can Google, do children have human rights in the United States? And you're going to find out that they don't. It seems ridiculous, but that is the case. Norway, they do have human rights,
Right.
and modified, I think that's the word. So with that new modification, that's how the Jehovah's Witnesses were going against their ethics, or whatever category that falls under. That's how that happened.
The Norway actually made an addendum
That's
to
what I'm
their
talking about. Yeah.
bill right after the loss with the first court case of Jehovah's Witnesses as well. But the addendum had already been pressed prior to.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do what?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you're putting it in the proper term. Thank you.
It was put in act prior to the court ruling, but it passed after the ruling. And so it kind of makes it look, kind of funny, but they can do what they want. It's their country. And that's the difference in Norway. A lot of people don't understand that, is they actually can change their rules, and it's different than in that country than here. They have a different set of legal guidelines where we don't have to jump through the hoops that they actually do. But we usually have a democratic society, not democratic people, democratic society, that we pass things through by vote.
Right.
There, it's voted and passed immediately. It don't go through a bunch of crap.
Okay.
And
I thought it was already put in place, but
it was put in place prior to the case, but it didn't become enacted till after the case.
Interesting. See, I didn't know that. I had just taken what I'm talking about from this one lady that was saying that, why they didn't, why they had a problem with them. So, and another thing is they're not being banned like Russia has banned them.
Yes.
In Norway, they do still get to be, going to the Kingdom Hall. They get to practice as they have all along. They're just not going to be, the government saying we're not going to fund this activity, because I think what he was talking about ethically isn't able to support it.
Correct. They have no humanitarian aid. That's one of the big things for being funded as well. They don't do anything to help children, families. They do nothing. The governing body, the organization, the head organization, does nothing. Here's one of the things that Jehovah's Witnesses is notorious to doing, the organization, not the people.
Right.
Watchtower is, and they do it all the time. As soon as there's a national disaster, or as soon as there's some type of big collapse or earthquake or whatever, they ask the members that are closest by to take up donations and try to help. They do nothing out of Warwick or out of wherever, Pennsylvania, wherever their headquarters are. They do nothing. Any of those buildings, nothing, zero. But they do ask the members of those areas close by to do it, and they take the credit for it. They do it continuously, and that's provable.
And the followers really do want to, donate to when they know a certain disaster hit a certain country or whatever. They're all about, how can I get it to whatever whatever country, and then of course they're told send it to this one place, and we'll dish it out how we see appropriately. So.
And so, they do nothing. I mean, there's not one paper. Without saying, there's actually news media it takes a long time for them to finally get all their facts together, but it is being looked at, I can promise you. And there's no proof that they do anything. Zero. I mean, they even take credit for sending you in buckets that's with food, dehydrated food in it, that the Red Cross give, that they took credit for.
Right. Here in the U.S., when we had food boxes. They took out all the papers from.
They had the Red Cross on them, and some of them were turned so you couldn't see the Red Cross. But they didn't pay attention. The other ones at the bottom you could see, and they were all Red Cross buckets that had dehydrated food.
What y'all saying is on point right there.
Exactly.
Ain't about Norway children's rights in this country. The way I see it is that children are considered property. If I ain't mistaken.
That is truth. You're actually correct, Dallas. That's right.
And I think it has to do with this country having more religious believers than Norway. I think it's 1600s, during the 1600s with that Puritan influence in New England. How they consider them to be property and not people.
Yes.
Even though the Quakers were pacifists and stuff, but the Puritans and the Quakers, that was this country's foundation.
Yes.
But I have to say the Quakers, they do respect them as people more, and you're non-violent, and they're anti-war, and actually they are believing compassion, and they're anti-violence, like William Penn. He was one of them, and they're more like the Scandinavians who don't believe in those. They're the opposite of Puritanism. I found them to be.
Right. The Quakers don't believe in war. They don't believe in fighting in wars. They don't believe in raising a hand against anyone, period. Like during the Revolution, they helped the British soldiers as well as they helped the Americans when they were wounded. They put them in the same hospital right here in North Carolina together, side by side, buried them in the same cemeteries. But at the same time, they believe sparing the rod, spoiling the child. They believe that if you can't dishonor anything that the Bible says, or it's, an abomination. They take things too far.
I think that spurn using a rod, I think that's mostly with the Puritans. Originated.
Do that as well. It's just an influence from that era.
Maybe they did. I don't know now, but
it's a lot of that era was really messed up.
Yeah.
So sadistic violence is what ruled that.
Yeah.
You know what?
Mostly in New England.
The New England states, but the southern states as well. It's you got to remember some of the colonies originally started Jamestown, not up north, but right here in Jamestown, Virginia.
Well, it's that plantation slavery is where that mentality came from.
Technically, the first colonies would be St. Augustine, Florida, but besides,
plantation slavery has something to do with that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole can of worms there. It's like,
absolutely.
Yeah, that goes beyond religion. That's just wickedness.
Yeah.
Maverick brought up. I'm sorry, Maverick brought up. What about the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights?
Yeah, I wanted to see if we could answer that question.
Oh yeah.
Maverick.
I'm sorry, Dallas, I cut you off.
It's okay. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Dallas. Always, man. I'm so glad you're here. And Pasta Babe, quick question for you, real quick. Do you have a YouTube channel as well?
I do, and I do a live show every Saturday night, which is today, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is Southern California time. And so far, for a while now, Matthew keeps showing up. It's not like a diehard agreement, but he keeps showing up, and the conversation goes pretty well. So we just hit whatever subjects is kind of the latest thing, and I talk a little politics, and then we open it up to whatever the audience wants to talk about, because it could be things about the organization or just frustrating things about how to make new friends, or how do we do this, that, or the other to kind of
Right.
It's in my idea it's to support people to assimilate within society at large, because that's a very tough transition for us.
And some of us are better at it than others. And Matthew, he's been the next Pete
Good.
for your show. He has.
Yeah, I know.
We're just trying to follow the highest joy, Casey and Anthony and Dallas and Linda James. I think that's what it is. There's no hard and fast rule other than focusing on recovery and trying to have a good time and let joy back into living, right?
Yes, we do get to laugh, and I like to laugh at myself.
Yeah.
Stuff I thought was a good idea in my 20s.
If anybody on here hasn't subscribe to Pasta Babe and Matthew's channel. And Dallas, do you have a channel?
I don't, but I do. Sometimes I have collected some videos I liked from mine.
Okay, well, everybody check
Others,
out Dallas.
I can collect more videos if I haven't made none, but I can collect some that I like.
Yep.
Right on. And we sing happy birthday too, don't we, Dallas?
Oh,
I absolutely. And that was the next day. It was having the cake.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Which that birthday celebration is posted on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
If you can have a look at it.
Yeah.
Now, Dallas, I don't know if I'm overstating here or if I'm going to get into trouble here, but I sort of expect you to set up your own food network because I'm always hearing what you're eating.
And sometimes we have to have a way to enjoy it, have a good time, and whether we're in a bubble or we're not previously.
Yep.
But I also hear your cogs turning. I think your observations are very sharp.
Yeah, actually,
I try.
Dallas is very witty, man. Don't underestimate Dallas.
Did anyone
He's
answer?
he's educated. I can tell. He comes up with stuff that it's like, oh my God, you're right.
I know.
And I've seen you, Anthony and Casey. I've seen y'all in Salisbury, North Carolina, on a video.
Oh yeah.
You sure did.
Investigating.
You sure did. Actually, it's kind of funny. I think Dallas, Maverick, and Jeff are all some of the original people that joined the channel.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I just have to say this. Someone was asking, what does your shirt say? Escaping the tower, one person at a time, facts on JW.
And it shows a tower broken in half, burning.
Yeah. And then, did anyone answer this about the UN International Declaration of Human Rights? Did anyone answer that? Did you answer that? The International Declaration of Human Rights. Do you know about that?
International Declaration. I don't know. Matthew?
Do you know the answer to that one? Matthew? No. Okay.
Matthew knows it. There he is.
You know the answer.
Or
to that
Pasta
question?
Babe. She might know it as well.
Anyone?
I got a question.
You've got to trying to pick my brain here, Anthony.
Yes.
And then we need to ask, someone was asking too about Russia. What exactly, are they completely banned or they are allowed to meet and they just can't preach and can't hand out literature or something? Does anyone know the answers to that one?
So let me just get the frame of the question correct there, Casey and Anthony. What's the question exactly?
So there's two questions. Do you know about this one here that Maverick asked? What about the UN International Declaration of Human Rights?
Yeah.
I know that.
So look, that's just fundamental rights. Drafted by, representatives with different legal expertise, right? Like Hassan, for instance, and Deborah Lynn Katz, right? Their PhD. So they gather these people from all regions of the world, right? And so now you got your declaration. I don't know if somebody can help me, but I think it was around about 1948, round about there. So you had this standard of achievements for all peoples and nations. So it was about getting people up to their fullest potential to try and raise society. So it was very, very noble intentions, right? So your fundamental human rights was to be universally protected and bring in just your different tribes, your ethnic groups, and elevate human society. And so, yeah, it was thought of as inspired.
Like children's rights in the U.S., he's asking too. Is it about the same? I don't really know because I don't know what the laws are.
Pasta babe?
You know,
Regarding the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, yes, it does apply to the United States. And a matter of fact, Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is called freedom of religion. And that's something that the organization has gone to court with and has actually been very successful with Article 18, freedom of religion, for them to keep whatever doctrines they teach or preach. So, but the fact is that we, as wherever we live, we're entitled to those rights as well. I mean, I know there's certain countries that are under totalitarian regime, and they probably don't acknowledge them. But if Article 18 is a human right for the organization, it's also a human right for ourselves. And one of the things about Article 18, freedom of religion, one of the things that is said in it is that you have the right to change your religion or belief.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Yes.
They try to take that away.
Absolutely.
but within the organization, if we change our belief system or religion, that's a disfellowshipping offense.
yeah.
And it's not the same as getting kicked out of any other club, you know. It comes with mandated shunning, which the leadership enforces. How do they enforce it? If you get caught talking to someone who is disfellowship, your consequences, you will be disfellowship. So it's real. So it falls under, coercive control kind of things.
Yeah.
I tell you, they will throw the book at you real hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Like old judge, like with Vinny, like Judge Chamberlain, who got the book thrown at him hard many times until he earned respect.
Yep.
Is anybody familiar with Article 1? Because I think that harmonizes exactly with what Linda James has mentioned, because Article 1, and I'm open to correction, is to do with conscience and person's right to exercise conscience, which is why Norway is taking things to the Supreme Court, because persons are not allowed to exercise conscience when there is two conflicting orders in JW. Now, I use this matter of corporal punishment as a clear example, but there's many more. There's others that conflict. So you've got Jeffrey Jackson saying, oh, no to it. And then you've got local elders saying yes. And then they say, but it's printed on a public talk, which comes through the publishing arm, which comes from the governing body. So which one is it? Do we do it or we don't do it? And if you ask that question, you're labeled apostate because there is a potential liability due to your catch-22 situation. So Norway got caught in that in a similar way. When do they give money or don't they? If they give money, they're supporting these double binds. If they don't, then they're going to get into trouble for discrimination. So for somebody who's now got two conflicting orders and told to obey, they get punished for obeying, they get punished for inquiry, and if they go this way or if they go this way, it just ends up in punishment. There's no way out. And because of that, it damages the conscience. You get a psychological violence, what they were trying to label as psychological violence. That's the damage. and that affects and somebody I hope who's good with these articles, Article 1 and what Linda James was saying with Article 18. Am I correct, Linda James?
Yes.
Article 18 with the freedom of religion and to have an exit. In other words, if you're in this catch-22 situation, you should be able to exit from the harmful situation without having further harm put upon you. And that was what Norway exposed. They said, no, if you've got a child who is 8 years of age, for instance, even though they might have an updated SLF book where it's no longer just a 2-witness rule, but it is, they still kept the 2-witness rule, but they've tried to change it as if, no, we've now have special allowances. It's still blocking your exit for your 8-year-old who has no idea what they're getting involved in when they get baptized. They have no idea that there's going to be these conflicts of conscience and things like this. And so your Article 1, where all human beings are born free and have equal dignity and rights and are endowed with reason and conscience, your high control religions very often kill your reason, kill your conscience, and prevent that just humanity where you can act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. It's subtracted because you've roboticized. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds correct. That's what I thought. You know, you put it in a very clarified way, though. I thought the way Jehovah's Witnesses have gotten away with this, and any of those SDA offshoots, the original Adventist offshoots, not just Seventh-day, but the Adventist movement, how they've gotten away with it for so many years is beyond me. Because technically, if you read the law, they should not be allowed to practice that particular belief because it does go against human rights. And that's what I've always thought, but yet they still keep doing it. So,
It's a good idea for us to learn our human rights from this Declaration of Human Rights. There's 30 of them.
Right.
The Article 1 that Matthew was talking about says all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. That's Article 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me read Article 18 too, please. And Article 18 says, everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom either alone or in community with others, and in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. So right in the middle of that, it says it gives you the right to change your belief system or religion. Or says both,
because they punish you if you do, and that goes against the human rights. It's really, I mean, it's obvious. I don't know how they just get away with it.
Well, if they're denying that they shun, yes, how do we go to court and say that they do?
Well, there's printings about it. I've got elders manuals over there that talk about it. I mean,
sure, and there's been plenty of testimony, which we saw last time with Norway. People got up on the stand and testified. There's been other cases that confirm shunning. There's a case that happened in Canada where, someone was disfellowshipped and lost all of his people that were his clients and stuff. And, it's also a smear campaign. We're not supposed to say anything about people that are known pedophiles because that's, what is that called? It's like talking bad about them.
Right.
That's what happens when you say that again.
Slander.
Yes, that's the word. But if we become somebody that questions too much, the smear campaign starts on us, and it's very slanderous what is said about us. For instance, we've gone and joined the devil. We might even be demon possessed, right? It's all kind of bad stuff that mentally,
Really disease. That's the good one.
yes. So, and it's not said to, the whole purpose of it is to make it to where nobody in the congregation wants to listen to us. It scares them.
Yeah.
And it silences them from speaking to us,
And that's your Article 3, right, Linda James?
I just read Article 18, but I can go to Article 3.
If you've got Article 3 there, just remind me of that one, because I'm sure that one is about security. So, okay,
Yeah, so
I'm going to... Okay.
Go ahead.
No,
so Article 3 says everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Like it's one sentence. Again,
okay.
Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person.
Okay, so where JW's got tripped up with that, like last year in July 14th to 20th, in the Christian Life and Ministry, was the elders overstated that Christian Life and Ministry meeting with regards to corporal punishment. So your 8-year-old was placed into, I saw in the comments, I think it was, okay, I'm not going to guess who it was, but I saw in the comments earlier, somebody was mentioning in the UK, if they just go to the camera footage, you'll actually see persons effecting corporal punishment on the basis of that teaching where elders overstated what was in the Christian Life and Ministry reference, which was old. It was based on a 1990s information, which was current, but it became defunct. They were old outlines. They brought in the new outlines to update things, but because they were now reducing the writing staff, they put in younger writing staff who were not experienced, and they made exactly the same mistake because they were recycling the old information. Your older ones who knew about it had been booted out, and your younger ones just shoved it straight into your Christian Life and Ministry, and they repeated the same mistake. Then they were horrified. And we've got them on record. We've actually got branch committee on record saying, "Oh, crumbs, we've got to forward this to the governing body." But they didn't realize that they were on record. But they started this problem because they said, "Oh, when you consult with us, we are going to record you. We're going to give you a code and we're going to record you. Do you consent to being recorded as a consultant?" And I said, "Yes. But it works two ways. I'm going to also record you. If you're recording me, I'm going to record you too. I'm putting you on the record." And so they went on the record. So we know that this went to the governing body. They know last year in July, this thing went all the way to the governing body service department. Not just your branch level, governing body level. And we've got the receipts of that. We've got the receipts and we've got the actual persons. And when they realized that they were on record, you know what they said, Anthony? They said, "Oh, please," with the sweetest research department voice, "please don't reveal the ones that are involved here. Please don't name us. We want people to see that it is Jehovah that is directing these matters." Except 3 years previously, they had already given us instructions about this exact matter in writing from their research and service desk department, which means they were aware of it 3 years prior to what happened in 2025. This wasn't just a 2025 issue. This has been going on for at least 3 years. So they got caught again because there was a paper trail. And that's the advice to anybody who's facing abuse in whatever forms it is, spiritual abuse, physical abuse, is always put it on record. They'll tell you that you can't do it. That's not true. They've shown themselves untrustworthy. Record it. If you're not allowed to record it electronically, put it down in notes so that you can transcribe it. Because as soon as they do that, they're going against your universal rights. You have a right to make a written record and transcribe what's being said and then send it back as a memo and say, do you want to change any information in what was discussed during this meeting? Because I'm placing this on record and you've got a chance to now object and say that this didn't happen.
This is what our shows are like on Saturday night. We just kind of talk back and forth and talk about this kind of stuff or anything else.
Well, and this is what I like here, because this is actually very informative. I'm learning something here as well. Some things I had known I just wasn't clear on, so it's actually clarification. So,
and what Matthew's talking about is we saw Jeffrey Jackson during the Australian Royal Commission claim that, you know, that as Jehovah's Witnesses don't practice corporal punishment, where they don't spank the kids. And that's what Jeffrey Jackson said at the Australian Royal Commission. But since then, the followers have been told, yes, it's important for you to, you know, spank your kids because you should not spare the rod, right? It's biblical. So, but Jeffrey Jackson said, you know, you can talk to your kids and reason with them, but in reality, they're still being encouraged to spank your children as a form of discipline.
Right.
He lied right there.
Well,
Yeah, you're right. He did. Anthony, I don't know if I can give you a supporting reference, but elders will tell you that you are not, say for instance, you've got an abuse case. They'll tell you that you have got to apply the 2-witness rule, Matthew 18:15-35, but you are denied your witnesses. They can bring in two witnesses to say that you're slandering the organization or that you're slandering Mr. High and Mighty Circuit Overseer, who's as guilty as they come, allegedly. Okay, but if you can use paper to become your witness. So you can produce an entity through paper that becomes a bond paper. And I'll give you the reference. The reference is Watchtower 95, 11/1, pages 28-29. I'll repeat it. Watchtower 1995, 11/1, pages 28-29, which says you may face your abuser by telephone, or if you can't handle it because of the emotional strain, you may write a letter and commit them to replying via letter, which of course usually they'll decline. But at least you can now put on record that you attempted to communicate with them, but they were silent, and the silence becomes the answer.
Oh, Maverick's on here. I didn't know. Hi, Maverick.
Oh, Maverick. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi, guys.
That's very good to know there, Matthew. I appreciate that. And by the way, Matthew, off subject, but I've got to say this, and then I'm going to say something to Linda real quick. A guy that I've always thought very highly of as far as a musician, and have met him, and he's but you favor him a lot, is a guy named Leland Sklar. Just look him up and you'll be amazed.
Do you know who he is, Matthew?
Leland Sklar? No, I don't.
Okay.
One of the best bass players ever. He's been on he's played bass on 3,000 different albums.
He's got a really long beard.
He's a studio musician.
Yeah.
Not to change the subject, but I had to bring that up.
We have to say goodbye to Stan. He had to go. He said he had to go mow the lawn and was going to be humming Kingdom Melodies.
Oh, no. Not
He said, please kill me.
Go listen to music over on Frequencies of Freedom.
Well, he more than likely that's because he lives in Australia, a different side of the equator.
That is true.
That's somewhere where he is.
Yep.
And Linda James, if you
and somewhere where Matthew is too, in South Africa.
Yeah.
You're close to the Strip area. That's where I spent most of my youth there.
Probably nice weather there, I guess, most of the time, huh?
Very fond memories of Gazares and that
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so a friend of mine's son played the last show for Gazzari's, which is so Gazzari's is a nightclub in Hollywood where most bands would get their start. Okay,
Yep.
most garage bands are just bands that are put together, and so wow, you're taking me back. Gazzari's.
Mr. Gazzari was the coolest guy. He was so cool.
So my friend's son and his band got to play the last night that they were open. So they closed down, I guess, about 2 years ago, which is really sad, really sad. But it was like a place where just local bands could play, and a lot of them were different styles and stuff. Yeah,
People have
that's
no
amazing.
clue. And when I tell people the bands I saw there, they're not even in. They can't believe it. You know,
Yeah,
everybody
they got their start there.
Yeah.
That's
It's like
funny.
I went to do you remember Palisades? Over in
I'm not
Palisades?
sure.
It was the Palace in Palisades. And it was a big place there. And I remember going and seeing the Tubes there. I thought that was hilarious. You don't know
There was a place in San Pedro, something Waters. I don't remember the name of it, but people would get their start there. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah.
It's so different out. I mean, yeah, but I spent my whole childhood, my young adulthood there, between the Roxy and the Rainbow, and if you want to go to the whiskey, I didn't like the whiskey. It was always
the whiskey a go-go.
It was always kind of dirty, but it was famous. But Gazzari's was the place.
Yes, it was.
And the Cat House.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to the subject.
that was very worldly. I'm actually quite proud of you.
I was a very, very worldly person here.
Yes. And you know what? People that are listening, look up the word worldly. It might be the same as what you've been taught, but it might be a little bit different too.
It truly does. It's actually instead of rhetoric, it's not contemptible. It's actually a good positive thing. It means you're well traveled, you're wise, and learn so much. It shouldn't be they shouldn't be a cursed person or contemptible.
Well, ChatGPT says what it means.
If I wouldn't have experienced those things, then I wouldn't have known what I like and don't like,
It can mean several things. It says focus on material life and pleasures. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Most common meaning concerned with money, success, status, or physical enjoyment rather than spiritual or moral matters. Okay, the other example is experienced and sophisticated about life. It can also mean someone who is knowledgeable about how the world works socially and practically. And then in a religious usage, especially in stricter faith groups, like it says this here, in some religious contexts, worldly means not spiritually aligned or influenced by secular culture, used negatively. So it could mean multiple things, I guess.
Oh my, the pizza place.
Are you talking the pizza place as in Pizzagate?
Yes, thank you.
Like something pizza? Oh God, I want to call it disco pizza, but it's not.
No, but you're close. Oh my,
Mystic pizza or something. So the theory is there was a basement there with horrible activities happening, and someone took it upon themselves to rescue the people that were having horrible things happen to them, and they happened to be children. So he showed up with a gun with great intentions and opened the closet door, and there was no basement, unfortunately. Well, it is fortunate, but once he realized it, he was like, okay, put his hands up. He got arrested. I was just reading about it, listening about it 2 days ago. He got a pretty he got a pretty bad consequence for that because it was brought up.
He had good intentions, but the pizza place was like everybody went there on the strip. They went there.
Yeah,
it was like the place everybody went.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name of that place. It was so good.
Mystic Pizza, maybe.
Well, when you're drinking, you don't really care.
She asked you what did you say the name of it? You said
Could
a
it be
name,
Mystic Pizza?
Mr.
I think that might be it. I'll tell you what, I'll ask my friend Jim. I'll talk to him and ask him. Because we went there a lot. I mean, I ought to know this by now. But you're talking what, 30 something, 40, maybe 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I just looked up Mystic Pizza, and that's the name of a romantic comedy from
Oh, there you
1988.
go.
Pep used to have to
We're
go
getting
to
close.
I liked going to
Apostle Babe.
Lion.
Maverick, what are you up to these
Hiya,
days,
guys.
my friend?
I'm good, thank you. I'm just quietly listening to everyone's flowing and enjoying it. So it's nice to see everyone. I was going to say the only type of mystic pizza I don't want is one of those dodgy pizza parlors where you don't know what they've put in the ingredients.
I know.
Wow, then, man.
Really good.
How you doing, Dallas? How you doing, Matthew?
In England, London, England, and myself from United States.
Absolutely, from the old world to the new world.
Right.
Britain and American on same line.
There you go. Just across the pond, huh?
Yeah,
Well, most of us in the States have, most of the older families have British ancestry. So.
Well, the after party of what's his name, Rick Ferren's show. A lot of everyone jumps into the after party, as it were, because Rick tends to leave the lines open for people. This is off air, and then we're talking with Matthew and Dallas, and everyone comes in, and whoever jumps in, people just jump in and out. And we were talking about the connections between England and America, and what's her name now? Not Anne Marie. There's the other one, Pixie. Pixie is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to like the history of like the connections between the UK and London especially. We were having some fascinating conversations, like the Mayflower, for example. Last week we talked about the Mayflower, the original founding, and the Mayflower is like about 2 miles. The pub, where the ship was named from. There's a pub there in London where I'm not far from me, and it's still called the Mayflower, and that's the place where the founding fathers went off and to the States. So it's just like it's on your doorstep. So we just have these conversations all the time. It's quite cool.
That's cool.
Jeff
has to go, so let's say bye to Jeff.
Oh, Jeff's going.
bye, Jeff. Take care now.
Well, it's kind of funny because you're talking about the founding fathers, but technically, if you think about it, the founding fathers of America were the Spanish.
Well, yeah, and how far do we go back? Because I've seen historical accounts of the Vikings going over in the 8th century and colonizing the East Coast. They went over many times. So how far do we go back?
Right. Well, the Spanish come to colonize. The Vikings and stuff only come to trade, and they ran into the Skraelings and got ran out. So.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But the Spaniards come to divide, conquer, and destroy and colonize.
Yeah.
As all empires do, eh?
All empires do. I have a little bias in that.
Of course, yeah. I was going to say that the Hollywood Strip, back in the 80s, must have been a very buzzing, crazy place to be. Not going off topic again, but
it was unique. But it was the 80s, so you could have went anywhere, and it was unique. It was just that was
if Axel's
anybody come through there.
Yeah, Anthony, I was just going to say, if Axl Rose's depiction in Welcome to the Jungle is anything like it was, then yeah, it was a colourful place, eh?
Yeah, and that's a good picture. Like, if you can ask a pasta babe, like Huntington Beach was a crap hole. It's decent now.
Where? Oh, Huntington. Okay.
Yeah, because what was it? Baywatch is supposed to be at Huntington Beach. I was like, yeah, that small little section over here.
It's too bad Russell and Rutherford didn't take a trip with the boys on the Titanic.
Oh yeah, because that was 1912, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been good if it was Rutherford and Northern. That would be a form of assassination. And they rightly deserved it.
Yep.
Right.
Rutherford and Russell.
They missed the boat.
But actually, Russell, a lot of his stuff, Rutherford tried to wipe out. It's kind of weird. He just kept what he could use. It was Rutherford was the mastermind behind a lot of this, and Knorr just took it and locked it down, man. So really, Rutherford and Knorr.
Yeah, they really are the proper foundations of what we understand as
Absolutely. They cracked down hard on the rules, and Fred Franz too, but Ray Franz, he was so different in the opposite direction. I think he was PME, but then he was PMQ when he was in leadership. I do think he was a PMQ, and by the end of his leadership, I think he was PMO.
They were the Crocs of McDonald's.
Before becoming Puma.
You know, Knorr took everything that Rutherford had passed down. And man, I'm telling you, you can just watch. You can read the doctrines. You can read the books. You can see what happened. And then Knorr gets it. And you can see he was a stickler for following and making rules. Not for himself, but for everybody else. And he knew that would be the way to keep people there. And he locked it. I mean, he put the screws to it, man. And
he was a hardcore Law and Order kind of person.
Yeah,
like
I'm trying to think of the word.
Like the law enforcement who don't play around and no compromise kind of law enforcement.
But
he was probably very insecure in himself. Because usually, the more insecure these leaders are, the more draconian they are with the people that they want to.
That's the word. The draconian, which is an old Greek word, right there.
You know, I looked at the history of the organization, and it's kind of weird because the two guys that really stands out to me as being weird, just totally.
Only two, Anthony.
Do what?
I was going to say only two. That's quite.
There's a lot of them, but it's just really different. One's going to be A.H. Macmillan, really strange character. Comes out, he's the one who baptized Rutherford. You know, he never was part of Russell's technically little group of appointed people, but yet he weasels his way in with Rutherford. I didn't quite get that. And then I know he lived at that place where the grave sites were sold, and he sold grave sites there for Russell. But I don't quite get how he weaseled his way in. But with that, the other one is Franz and Knorr. I think they were lovers, man. Say what they want. And hey, each to their own, that's fine, but don't claim to be in a religious group and be like that.
Well, that's it. That's the point,
Baptized Noah. He was the one who brought him in and baptized him.
And the lioness says, pretty sure Rutherford made the no beard rule. You're right. And this book I have here, 30 Years of Watchtower Slave, is when he started in on and not.
Okay.
You need to shave that beard. He hated beards.
I don't like beards neither. No offense, Matthew. I just don't like them on me.
Well, and that's fine, but don't dictate. Like you can't become a Jehovah's Witness unless you shave your beard.
I can't grow ones. Why would I like beards?
I
wish I had your problem, Anthony. When I was a witness, I hated having to shave for the meetings because, any person knows if you got even if you don't have a sort of like a real heavy beard, even just stubble, it's uncomfortable to having to keep clean shaving. If it's annoying, and you just had to do it, and it was uncomfortable. Your skin would raw, and sometimes I would literally. I'd be all my chin would be all in a hurry, just coming in from work, blah 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 blah. You just got about half an hour to get yourself organized, and then it would be like straight out the door, and with all blood scratches all over, you know, nicks from the razor blades. And I thought, I'm not going to the meeting tonight. I've just ruined my only clean shirt, and I was just like, right, that's it. I'm not going to the meeting.
And that meant you had to look like you were required to look like an American military man.
Well, there you go.
An American military man, or even American businessman, lawyer, or like a member of the British royal family.
Yeah.
Well, what they were trying to do was create an image and portray an image of clean cut business look to make them look like they were a clean organization that promoted the image of dignity and cleanliness and all the refinements. But the truth about Jehovah's Witnesses is that was not the case. A lot of them were alcoholics. A lot of them were wife beaters. A lot of them were pedophiles. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of things that they were. I mean, and then you did have those good people, but the stress that it brought into the families that were good was horrific. And then you create even more problems. And I mean, it's
you know, Anthony, I have a little rule of thumb, and I'm probably not the only one who has this kind of suspicion of anyone who's trying too hard to be squeaky clean cut, like a lot of charisma, trying to, you know, they can't put a foot wrong, they're immaculately dressed, they're trying to always this image. I have a automatic suspicion now. Maybe some of it is genuinely okay, you know, there's people who do care about the way they look probably more than me, but but they're kind of like anyone in the public eye who's trying to come across like there's butter wouldn't melt in their mouth, you know. I have an automatic suspicion. I'd rather have the disheveled, the person who can put their hand up and say, look, I've got loads of things wrong with me. I'll trust that person a lot more. You know.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Speaking of the beard, I was trying to find it in this book.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, so this is about. I guess this book is about a man's story. I'm not really sure who it was about, but anyways, it says here. Okay, an amusing incident took place at the time of the Judge Rutherford's visit. The director of our German branch, as had many before him, had grown a large beard, patterned after Charles Russell's beard. The judge did not want anything at all to remain which might remind him of Russell, not even the cultivation of a beard. So, sitting at the table for dinner one night within my earshot, the director asked the judge for one more large rotary press. The judge said nothing for a while, and then suddenly he looked up, his eyes turned severely on the director's huge beard and said, "I will buy you the press if you take that thing off." Yeah. So you can see he didn't want, he wanted to get away from the Russellites, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
He wanted to be this new religion of his own, which kind of, he basically did make that.
Well, I mean, he figured it out early on, and that you could start a cult and get rich, and he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or take over one.
Well, that's what he actually did.
Take over one and then changed it up a bit.
Yep.
Maybe. He probably took. We know that it was. Yeah, you know. Well, when they probably thought that Russell was getting older and more frail and ill. You know, he wasn't. They could probably sense that he's going to pass the reins over. He probably thought that he's the automatic candidate. He's the one next in line. And when it panned out that, according to the history, is that he was already delegating the people he wants to take over, Rutherford was not happy about that at all. So he then did a kind of internal coup and just basically purged the people there, you know, and anyone who wasn't for him. You know, it's a bit like how the Caesars would have probably reacted in the, you know, like just turned on each other.
I agree.
You know,
I think Rutherford, Nor, and Fred Franzi wanted us and would have required us to tell them, yes, Your Majesty, say Your Majesty to them like their monarchy.
Yeah,
that's actually true, guys. That's very.
Right.
Very true. That's what they
No
want.
small exaggeration there, Dallas. You're right. That is true.
Well, who was
Yeah.
the oracle?
Huh?
Who was the
Freddie
oracle?
Franz, wasn't he? Freddie.
Rather.
Freddie. And then, of course, what they would do with the ones who would pass the anointed psychological profile is they'd call them master. They used to do that with me. It's a very uncomfortable thing. They'd go, let's talk to the master, because you're in the covenant position, so you are substituting for Christ. So
I've never heard that expression, Matthew. So those who they considered anointed, they would say, because I've never heard anyone refer anyone as a master.
Only when you go through the PQR, the personal qualifications report on the inner circle. So they will ask you all kinds of questions. You'll go through the grill, because they said that they must test anyone who is declares themselves an apostle. You must test those men in Revelation. You must test them.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Wow. Okay.
So those that are considered higher up on the echelon, are they considered apostles?
Yeah, that's your modern apostle. So they would call them. So when I used to fill in the requisitions, so when I did a requisition, there would be a branch committee member, and then there could be any overseer of any other department. So there would always be 3, but they would push my requisitions ahead. So if I asked for like a utility vehicle or a 4x4, it would be prioritized on the Admin 2000 system, or the what's now called Hub. And that's because you're anointed, because the genuine anointed, not just but your genuine anointed that appear on the system, you see, Christ is in charge of the belongings. If you take a look at the updates in the Bible, or in the indexes, or in some of the new publications, they show you that the master is in charge of all the belongings. So it's not just the spiritual things, it's the material assets as well.
Can you explain what the belongings are?
Yes, like Lepta, for instance, in Ireland, which is your asset management firm with all your various directors. So your what is it? Your portfolio of real estate would come into that. And the reason being, here's the justification. If Daniel 2:44 from the JW doctrinal point of view is taken seriously, every asset, every piece of land that is taken over is just a step closer to the kingdom, taking over every piece of land. So when you look at the model within the Insight volume on a scenario for how long it would take to restore a paradise earth in a new world society, new world order. Yeah, so in your paradise scenario, they give you that in resurrection. How long would it take to resurrect absolutely every human that has ever existed? And with what proportion of land? So when they're going real estate, they're saying, well, this is part of the kingdom, just overtaking all other kingdoms.
So those of us that were like in the rank and file would not have even been hearing any of this stuff, let alone understanding this communication, the way you're
that's right. So rank and file is merely an associate, not a member. Remember, you've got your shareholders, and then you've got persons that even the shareholders now report to. So that's your unseen. That's your unseen governance.
Who did you say the shareholders report to?
So if you think of like
I've got
to be very careful on YouTube. I've got to be very careful with that. But you've got I can't
So-
talk about it.
Okay, I've asked you to repeat something.
I
you thought I heard
apologize.
say, but you didn't
I
say it.
apologize about it, but think something like Balfour Declaration. There's a way to do it. Think Balfour Declaration. Think what the President of the United States did with respects to Jerusalem.
Okay.
Right? So you can see that he's come in and he's making sure, oh, well, this is now declared the capital city. Well, what does Balfour Declaration have to do with JW? What does it have to do? What does Trump administration have to do with JW? Who is Jared Kushner? What was his involvement in the purchase of East River properties? And is that just about putting a briefcase of money on the table? Doesn't work that way. No, it's about subscribers, and not any kind of subscriber. It's not like having YouTube subscribers. You're having subscribers that are workers. They're voluntary workers. They're highly motivated psycho-spiritually. So if you can guarantee that so many numbers will, say, for instance, purchase tablets because they're going to meetings, and you know that you are dealing with lithium coming from Africa, for instance, or from up in the Congo, and you guaranteed sales of cobalt or lithium or something like this, well, this is a huge amount of people that you can control. You can control them for medicines. You can control them for buying tablets and cell phones and all kinds of purchasing. It's not just real estate. There's all sorts of things that you can get them involved in. So they're giving their time, they're giving their energy, they're giving their wills over. It's a massive business. And if you can do an agreement with some key political figures, and you can say, well, we want to lobby for this or we want to lobby for that, you suddenly purchase a lot of power and clout. So much power and clout that like the president of the United States, who was it, Eisenhower, whose parents were JW affiliated. Well, take a look at who suddenly changes the US dollar bill and puts in God we trust, and puts your Russell pyramid. I saw somebody writing in the comments about the Russell pyramid, and you show it on the dollar bill. What's that all about? So you start seeing these connections, and now you can see why a government like Norway is out to sea when it comes to a matter of ethics and trying to break through double binds, because the whole system is geared towards double binds. That's your human control. That's your governance that it's affecting. So they've got to be very, very careful with the way that they do things, because they might just be stepping on their own governance and psychological control systems of their society. That's why they've got to keep in line. That's why these governments keep losing, because they expose themselves if they're not too careful.
So in like the world of Orwell or 1984, wouldn't these double binds be spoken of as double speak?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your cycle, because you put people into confusion, you create dependence. What's dependence? It's going to Big Brother. Hey, Maverick, where are you? You disappeared. But yeah, that's how it works.
Hello, I just muted myself. I was listening. Yeah. What was the question?
We were referring to 1984, Orwell's 1984, creating a dependency system so that you now have an artificial authority structure. So you remove human individual sovereignty.
Yeah. I mean like the room 101 where Winston is interrogated. Anybody who wants to understand that it's not just about like we've just said a rule, just follow it. It's the fact that they want to condition, as you were saying, Matthew, the whole conversation between Big Brother and Winston, who was being in the torture position, was about saying 2 + 2 today may equal 4, but if we decide that 2 + 2 is 5 tomorrow, you just have to go along with the current understanding of what's going on. So if we change, so it's not just, oh well, I'm seeing 2 + 2 is 4. What can I say? 2 + 2 is 4. Wrong answer. The answer is whatever we decide is the new truth is going to be something that we expect the members to even if it doesn't make logical sense from a human standpoint, just follow it. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Do you know, Maverick, I got them on record doing that. I actually made a recording of them doing that. They did it in the medical side with recent medical things that were happening throughout the world. And they could see that there were liability pathways opening up. And so I have those admissions on record. I thought that even if it's only I that keeps that record and nobody ever hears it, I'm going, this is a classic, because they opened up exactly and spelled out what it meant to be wrong and fallible. It's a choice, not a mistake.
Yeah.
And they admitted it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Whew, that got heavier, Anthony and Casey. Wow.
I was
the music.
I was wondering if that Fruity, the TTV Fruity, who's in the chat. I hope this isn't freaking that person out, but it's like there's so many layers that the people who come into the organization or studying are completely oblivious, because as you said, they present a very, very innocent, genuine, and they recruit genuine people who believe that they are following a genuine cause, and they're completely oblivious to what's going on behind the scenes until you get initiated in, and then they creep into your mindset in every way. And so if you haven't been baptized yet, the kind of language they're going to try and use is, well, other people are going to try and put you off. This is the truth. This shows that this is the truth, because they're going to try and put you off. That's the devil coming in and trying to put you off, off your path to life. So ignore your family, ignore people who have presented you facts, ignore these websites, ignore these channels on YouTube, and nothing could be further than the truth from that. So it's not something to be scared of. I just said earlier in the chat, I wish I had the internet at my disposal to really thoroughly investigate this organization. I really did. I would not wait. I joined. I wouldn't. Maybe I would have been pulled into something else crazy. I don't know. But this crazy, I wouldn't have.
Well,
there's too much evidence.
Casey, I was required to dismantle my legal team when I joined up. In fact, prior to being in the special order. They freaked out that I had a legal team. So that was one of the stipulations that they said I had to dismantle.
Let's see up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't show up to a judicial committee with a notepad. I would think you can't show up with a lawyer either.
Well, you can. Well, what you're saying is, yes, they absolutely actively discourage that, but legally, you can push back on that and go, no, if you've got 2 elders that are meeting with me, I am allowed 2 elders. And if people are nip scared to be involved, I'm allowed to record this. And they can say, no, you can't. You can say, well, yes, I can. It just matters. What matters is where I release that to. If I don't release it, well, you can't prosecute. I can absolutely record this. You cannot stop me from doing that. If you're not going to meet with me, that's your choice. But I am allowed to have a recording device here because those are my personal notes. If what you're saying to me isn't important and I have a forgetful nature, I'm allowed to have something to record that because I have that forgetful nature. You can't infringe on my universal rights. I think that's one of the things that comes into those articles, that if you know that you have some kind of disability, they cannot discriminate. If they've got something important to say to you and you forget it, well, what's the point of them meeting with you? You are allowed to take notes and you are allowed to record it. Even if you now go into one of those meetings and say, oh, you're not allowed a recording device, well, then you should actually get up and get out, because this is not going to work in favor. But they can say anything they like. It doesn't necessarily make that true. If you still record that, that's up to you. The problem is where you release that information to. If you've got a third-party verification board that is legally recognized, you can send it to them, especially if they've been shown to be untrustworthy in the past. Then that's very, very useful.
Well, nice point there, Matthew. Because they ain't the law themselves. That's why.
Yes, true. Remember, Jehovah in the rule book, your 2013 Revised Standard Translation book, which is your book of rules of how the company works, remember that Jehovah is the primary witness. So if Jehovah is the primary witness and he has a book of deeds which is recording everything, you can act as Jehovah. If you're thinking in terms of an egregore or an egregore, an artificial construct, right? Because you can say, well, Jehovah is the universal sovereign. Yeah, what is that? Is it you are gods, as Christ said? Elohim. So do I become Jehovah in that role when I'm recording? You see, you can start looking at it from legalistic terms, which is exactly how JW runs. It runs according to egregores. It runs according to bureaucracy and what's on paper. It can create, say, for instance, a straw man. It can create an entity on paper that is treated as a person, but it's a company. You see, it all works like this. You can have that company representing in court, and you say, well, we're treating it as a person, but there is no flesh and blood person there. So these are the inner workings that a lot of persons are not educated about, that discussions like this are now exposing more and more. We're at an incredible stage in human history, and that your paradigm shift is the fact that we're in this information age where these things are being exposed.
This is really fascinating. I'm going to say goodbye and catch up with you guys later. But yeah, this is fascinating. I'm hoping we can pick up on this later on the show, which I start at 9 p.m. Standard Time.
We love having on you here, Linda, and take care now.
Linda,
take care, Linda.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for being here too.
Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely subscribe to your channel, and we're going to watch you tonight. So
Right on. And there's ways for people to join us too, and you don't have to show your picture. Like I think Maverick is on here without his picture showing. So
yeah,
cool. Show up in person if you don't want to.
Yeah.
okay, that's really cool. See, I don't know how to do all this stuff. Like she keeps shooting it, and I'm talking, and it's not me good. I don't know.
Look at that. She's got her strengths, and you got yours. That's so awesome. Okay.
There you go.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Anthony and Casey, I'm also going to take a duck, but I say thanks very much. We have a lot of fun. I realize it got quite heavy tonight, but we also had some fun too. And it's the fun factor which you guys put into our lives and us all coming together like this, which is just, it's part of the healing process. So thank you very, very much. And thanks for asking all the questions and just all the friends here, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing so much information, Maverick.
Yeah,
I mean, Matthew.
And Maverick and everybody.
You're welcome, Casey.
Maverick, you really, and Matthew, it really is a pleasure. I always have you on here. So
well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here with everybody. You know, we're all here for the same reason: healing, recovery, support, validation.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
I can only handle about one channel a day, but I will check out Apostabate today.
I used to tap into Linda's show, but it's so late. It's right after Rick's, almost when Rick's finished, and it's so late for me here. I mean, if I try to catch everybody, I'm like, I won't be able to. I won't be sleeping till like 5, 6 in the morning.
So 5 hours ahead, right?
Well, Eastern Standard Time, I'm 4 hours ahead of you guys. So it's
7 for them because they're 3 hours behind us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
that's insane. I couldn't do it. Because let's see, wait a minute. She's on at 1 o'clock, she said?
9 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, which is
coming up.
Yeah, 12 o'clock.
Which is like 3 a.m. in the morning or something for me.
I know it can be a lot of shows to do, but you don't have to stay on the whole time. Sometimes you can just, briefly stop, drop by and greet the family.
Ooh,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's true. It's true, Dallas. Yeah.
Pep's an early bird.
But Dallas, are you in Texas now? Or are you in North Carolina?
North Carolina. Here's a story. Originally from Pennsylvania, then lived in Texas. 17 years in Pennsylvania, then 14 years in Texas. Texas is my second home, man. I'm presently in North Carolina. Been in North Carolina since June of 2018. Texas before that, but ended up in Texas in November of 2004.
I've been here since like 94.
So you're in North Carolina now?
Yeah, that's the order of how it is.
Okay,
yeah.
Very cool.
It's I've lived everywhere. I mean, but then I left. I come back.
We're probably not too far away. We live in the same.
So
state.
what's the weather been like in you guys with all the storms and the snow and?
We got snow.
You got snow, yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of
snowing right now. It's been
wow.
It is.
It's 19 degrees Fahrenheit here. You do Celsius there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, convert it to Celsius.
Let's see. What
was it? 19 would be. Well,
I don't know. How do I do that?
Let's go right here.
Look and see.
Thank goodness for the internet.
Yeah.
Convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit to Celsius. Convert Fahrenheit to Celsius.
I think it's 32 or minus 32
Celsius.
Isn't
32 zero?
Yeah, that's right.
-7.
Oh wow. Okay.
Celsius.
Yeah.
Let me change.
Yeah, 32 is 0. I was right. Okay.
Okay, now how do I go back to where I was? I'm like, I don't want to keep it on Celsius because I'll be like.
Yeah, it's strange how it's strange how that because you guys still use imperial as well, more inches and feet. Well, we tend to mix it up here.
Yeah,
there's
but
some things.
Imperial comes from Great Britain, right?
Yeah, and then they went to the EU. They joined the EU in 72, and then it went all metric, millimeters and centimeters and inches and feet. But a lot of people were still
quid. We got a problem.
Was that?
When we start calling our money quid, we've changed.
Yeah.
How many quid, mate?
So,
yeah.
So you do Celsius and you use the metric system.
The metric system for measurement, yes, but I use imperial all the time, whichever is easier in my head to work out for whatever. Large spans, I'll say feet. That's 6 foot away or whatever. I won't say it's 1.275 meters or something silly.
Yeah.
It's just too much. It's too irritating to me. So it depends. Some things it can be useful for, but I just never understood why you can't have both systems there. Why have to pick one? Just use whatever's useful.
Well, it really makes actually more sense for everybody across the board to use the metric system because it is actually easier to figure. It's because it's done.
Everybody should convert to American way of doing things.
100,000. It's like easier. It's actually easier to do the math.
Yeah. When someone says, "Oh, that's 1/16 of an inch," and I'm like, I've got to work that out now.
Yeah,
it's like.
But I can see where it could be.
That would be very hard. How would you do that?
I can see where it's beneficial to use both.
Yeah.
Oh my, that would be
Darn it, now I
difficult
can't find
if
that.
because the metric system I can get around it a little bit, but I'm not great in it because
Yeah,
we don't.
everything's just based off 100. It's just, millimeters, centimeters, meters. It's all based on 1,000. Everything's worked out from 1,000. So that's all it is really. So, whereas, yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't use miles. You guys use kilometers, right?
No, we use miles. That's what I'm trying to say. It's strange because in Europe, that's a funny thing with the Brits. It's like, no, we're not changing certain things. So we stuck with miles instead of kilometers, where the rest of Europe was in kilometers.
Yeah.
In America, it's still miles. Yeah.
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 still
So
miles.
exactly. So we have that miles.
We don't
What
use
else?
the metric system at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
So we
really
don't use kilometers. It's strange. So we still use certain things. It's funny that actually. That's why I say we cherry pick what we want. A bit like Watchtower.
Yeah. Pounds for weighing. You use stones though, right?
Yeah.
It's
Although
like 14.
again, yeah, even like when you're trying to show your weight, like this one's say 189 kilos or whatever. I'm like, what's that? It's 12 stone, 15 stone. But then I have to convert everything because I don't know.
Isn't it true that 1 stone is 14 pounds?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I watch the British shows. I'm like, let's see, 14 times
Yeah.
7. Okay.
Yeah. It's really strange how those things just catch on. Like they just.
So that's the weight of a stone is 14.
That's
pounds.
right. Yes. Well, even like the pound, I think it used to be a pound of gold. That's why the pound comes from 1 pound of gold
That's
was a pound of gold until they decoupled the gold standard from the actual value of the money, sterling.
Yeah.
But,
pretty cool.
Yeah, and then they would cut it in pieces.
yeah. It's all good. I like etymology of words. Honestly, that's partly why I was never happy with some of the explanations that the witnesses. I mean, like Watchtower tried to explain something. Yeah, Casey's the same.
She is.
I
Yeah,
mean,
when it comes to
let me
words
tell
and stuff, man, she is on point.
you,
She speaks 2 languages fairly well, but she can speak other languages some.
I don't know. I just know a few phrases. That's all. But
I can. Yeah.
One thing I didn't like when I would read the Watchtower and Awake magazines and stuff, I don't know, I would just find fault with things that they would say, and it like irritated me.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Keep reading it.
Yeah.
But I believed,
Yeah. I found Elaine JW Escapes done a really interesting angle of the Jesus video. And I watched it yesterday actually, and it was really good. I don't know, you covered that as well, did you, Casey or Anthony?
I've only, so whenever they came out with the drama last year for the convention, I did do a video on it.
Oh, did you watch the video I just did, Maverick?
I started to I'm going to do it justice because I looked at it, I thought, there you're doing the Johannes Gruber stuff, isn't it? Yeah, I just ran out of time. I just jumped in because I'm going to look at it again properly. But yeah, I'm glad you covered that. It's good. It's a good one.
Remember, I talked about it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then somebody else did it, and I was like, "Well, I'll just wait."
Well, the interesting thing about that is everybody, pretty much most subjects are going to be covered, but new ones are constantly coming in, and if they find your channel, they're going to find the information coming from currently what's now, so it's never wasted. You'll find something come back from 10, 15 years ago, and it's just like, oh, so we've got this one which was done by yourself, and then someone else done a Johannes Gruber, and it all ties in together really nice. You get details from, that's the beauty of that, you get everybody's details coming in an angle.
The first time I heard about him though was the Screw Generation.
Yeah.
That's the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that guy.
There was a chap called Dallas Canada, funny enough. Dallas Canada. He used to be Dally Wally 72. He's back in the day.
That's who that was?
Dally Wally, yeah, Dallas his name was. And he was the real go-to. He was all about the subliminal messages and the Freemasonry stuff and stuff. He really used to go in, and I used to love watching him because he was kind of similar sort of things I was interested in. And we ended up talking online a little bit, and then he went and said he went and gave all my information to Mike and Kim and I was one of the pins on the coffin in Mike and Kim's channel, and he said,
remember that.
yeah. And I said, he goes, I hope you don't mind, but I forwarded you to. I'm like, wow, not now. I wasn't ready for it then. I didn't want to sort of kind of.
It's one time.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
You were.
Oh.
They didn't use your all name, but they used part of it.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about when you time information to the public, because once it's out, it's out. You know.
That's true.
Be careful.
But the thing with I really like Mike and Kimmy's channel is because one of the things when I very first started researching it, they were one of the first people I ran across as well.
They were.
And then
They
of course,
were
the other person we ran across as well. So
John Cedars was what go to back then. Mike and Kim. I think it was when you come out of the organization, you quite like someone who's a bit ranty, who understands what's going on. And Mike was the perfect candidate for proper laying into the organization.
And one of the earlier ones, the pioneers of this, was also Rick Ferrin.
True, that's true. We can't forget Rick. We can't. And Jenny Parfum said "Son of Thunder" as well. He was a really good one in the chat.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he was really good.
Wow.
And does anybody in the chat remember the snarky apologist, Bill?
Yes, I do.
With his Superman T-shirt. Oh, I love Bill. Bill was fantastic. I wish he'd come back. He used to be, and he was all about the 607 stuff.
Yep.
And I loved that guy. There's so many good ones.
There has been so many channels, but right now, the other day I just ex-Jehovah's Witness, and man, it was insane the amount of channels out there.
Yeah, there's loads of new ones. A new wave of there's all exjw critical thinkers as well. They're phenomenal in there. Everyone's got their focus and their way, and they attract personalities already attract, isn't it? Like I gravitated towards you and Casey. I just from the word go, I thought I want to support this couple. They just chilled out. They're cool, and I just thought, I'm gonna stick around and see where this channel goes. And I thought, I'm gonna support. I have to support them. And it was one of those. It was one of those ones.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We're just here. We're real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely wrong. We start our channel. We talk about, hey, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. What do you want to talk about? I don't know. I was like, well, what about what we just posted? Like, oh yeah, that'll work. Well,
I know. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I can be a little bit cheeky in the chat because I've been feeling a little bit guilty about Robert. Like, Robert, if you hear this, I genuinely want you to come back and listen to what we're doing, Robert. Because I said in the chat about a few weeks ago about you have a right to remain ignorant, and he might have been offended by that. It wasn't meant to be something serious, but I do think about what I say sometimes, but
Sure, I mean we all say stuff.
No, I think what it is that the angle coming on a serious point from that is I know sometimes people come on and they get triggered because they think that people are just mocking the organization. I know I can be quite like that. I can be like that, but I feel that at the end of the day, they have caused so much carnage for everyone. They really have caused a lot of pain and hurt, and we all here in the chat, everybody comes on, have a right to let out whatever feelings we have, and it might rub someone else up the wrong way. I used to get that when I was leaving. I used to think I don't really want to be around people who are just sarcastic or whatever. And I said, actually, I've changed my opinion on that. Really, I have, because I think everyone deserves to say what they want to say. and somebody might get upset by it, but I don't, as long as it's not really, really outrageously disrespectful. I don't think I am, but
No.
I just like to be humorous and sarcastic when it calls for it.
You got to laugh a little.
It's all good.
Yeah. That's the good thing about these channels. They can't always be just 100%.
Can't just be so depressing.
No.
You got to let go, and you got to be a little humorous, and you got to have some fun with it because it drives you crazy.
Yeah. There's bad in it, but there's also some funny things we can talk about too. So.
Well, absolutely.
You're all a part of it.
Yeah, you gotta
I just married into it.
Well, when you speak about your background, Anthony, about being oneness Pentecostals, that's a heavy environment as well. The oneness Pentecostals.
They're a type of cult.
Oh yeah, that was just with my mother.
Okay.
I never was involved in that.
Okay, right. That was
the one that I was involved in the most, I guess. As a child, I went to a Baptist school. My grandmother took me to Catholic church, and my uncles and a couple other of my relatives took me to the Mormon church. So
a well-rounded exposure.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot.
Made me view the Bible as a history book instead of a religious or spiritual book.
Initially.
Yeah, initially. She always clarifies that. But that's what it did. So I didn't see it as a spiritual book. I didn't start looking for spirituality until I got in my early 20s.
Right.
Well, you were pretty young.
Right. But I started, I was wild. I was been on my own since I was 15.
Yeah.
And so I experienced a lot of things that most people wouldn't. And so by my mid-20s, I'd sowed my wild oats. I was done, man. I was having fun doing other things, and searching the spirituality was one of them.
Yeah, I get that.
Yep.
I get that a lot. I mean, for me, I think for me, it caught my family when I was a few years younger than yourself. I was just leaving what would be equivalent to what's the name of is it high school? What's the age group for high school in the US? Because we don't use the term high school.
No, it would be like 14 to 18.
Yeah, that's the sort of age. So I would have been high school, equivalent to high school when my mum was studying. So I remember even when I first discovered that she used to go on the ministry, and like, Mum, did any of my friends see you? And I was paranoid that she'd be like knocking on one of my friends' doors, and I'd get roasted at school on the Monday. Make sure you don't go on that door. That's my friend's house. Don't knock on that door. Like, that's how I was when she was. It's crazy.
Yeah, and is your mom still a witness or no?
No, she left. She left about a year after me. Different set of circumstances, but we as a family kind of moved away from it.
How about your dad?
My dad was never a witness. He's passed away now, my dad, but he was never a witness. In the organization, with the idea of not expressing your talents and your gifts, I hated that. So I never allowed them to interfere with that, Anthony. If you have to go, you just let me know. I don't want to ramble on.
You got to go, but I was going to tell you, I think that's the same thing that helped Dave Mustaine with Megadeth. Was the fact that, yes, he was in it from a young age, his whole family, his sisters, his mom. But what helped him escape was the music. And he never was. Really
music was a massive escape for me as well. I needed it.
Was baptized.
Yeah.
And he don't even remember it, man. When he starts talking about it, he don't even remember a lot of stuff about it. He just hated it, But,
well, listen, Anthony, I tell you what. Next time, I'll communicate with you offline on our email, and we'll have I'll pick the phone up, or we pick the phone up, or something. We'll just chat. We'll have a private conversation. No, I'm not trying to be exclusive or nothing, but we need to catch up and just chill out and just have a chat off when we're not sort of on a time frame.
My instruments too. So but if you'll notice my fingers, you see what's happening.
I know.
So
have you tried I've got a ukulele bass. And it's still almost full size, and it uses a silicone compound strings. So comfortable to play, and it sounds like a upright. Sounds like an upright bass.
Ooh, that's nice.
So it might be a little workaround to be able to keep playing with more comfort.
Yep.
I'll show you. I'll send you some maybe some sound samples as well. Actually, and yeah, you can see what you think. But
Super, my friend. Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Maverick, always a pleasure.
Andrew,
Thank you so much for hanging in there, Pep. Hope you enjoyed this.
Sorry, guys. We all went in the chat. Apologies for going off tangent.
Yes, music is my passion. So, guys,
thank you so much.
Love everybody. Love everybody around you. Always treat everybody with respect and kindness. And thank you, Maverick, and thank you, everybody. Deeply.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hanging in there.
And they can now. Take care.
All right, guys.
Take care. Thank you, Casey.
Take
Sorry, I'm
care
holding
now.
you both up with my ramblings.
Okay, thank you all for tuning in, and we appreciate you all
Thank you so much. Take care. Thanks for a great show. Bye.
Bye,
Take care.
and
Bye.
Bye, Dallas.
Bye.
And you and Linus
Bye.
and Pep and
Linus.
Sue, Happy Thoughts, and Jay Mars and Keith and Dan, ST co-pilot, and all the people that came on, Born JW, and we had our new person that was asking questions earlier.
Yep.
About the religion. So who's studying? Forgot what his name was, Fruity or something.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we'll put some
I was trying to look.
a thought in his or her mind to possibly, maybe stop studying would be good. Yeah. And then we also we got Jenny and Jane Spitfire and all of our usual peeps.
Yep.
So, and SD and Jeff Parnell. So thanks everybody for coming in. And Deanne. So I know it was a little bit longer this time. So, but we will plan to do another live stream next weekend, next Saturday. And if you have any suggestions on anything in particular, you can put it in the comments after we end the live stream for next Saturday, if you'd like.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, I'm just dazing out. I was reading over there, trying to. It looked blurry.
Have a great week and weekend, everyone, and we will see you on the next one.
Later, guys. Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye.